man. Are we just gonna replace gearing with finding gems? But no, I think with the modified values, this is more of a way to like actually, if you find a piece that's really exciting, but it's like, oh man, it's just this one roll that sucks, you can replace it.
Yeah, I think the socket system acts as a great supplement for Dark and Darker, and it really is. It fits so naturally, in my opinion.
And also, I think it makes finding the gems that much more exciting when you actually find
Yeah,
it's like, dude, I've got this Zweihander. I've been waiting for this thing for a while now, and now I got to find a ruby to get the fizz damage on it. So pretty exciting stuff. I think the socketing system, as we were talking about with the gear balance and changes in patch 69, the goal was to try to get everybody to kind of the same level, but I think the socket system achieves that without forcing it. Like you mentioned, it's sort of an organic way for you to go, okay, I'm not the 600-hour-a-week player that has all the gear in the world raining from the sky, but I can still put together a good kit with the stats that I want for my build by just looking for gems and getting the good bases. So when you do find a weapon that has like one or two of the rolls that you really want, or a piece of armor or jewelry, it's like, oh, finally, okay, I got this one thing. I just throw this gem on it. I'm good to go. My set's ready to go. I think the early version of it, I was like, man, am I going to be spending every time I die? Am I just going to be sitting here buying gems and having to resocket stuff? It's like, no, there's really no point to doing that. You can get better gear by just buying the gear itself outright, but finding gear and then looking for gems to sort of upgrade it is definitely an alternative way to get yourself powered up. All right, so real quick, before we jump into our next thing, I want to talk about during the testing that we've done here, I was really excited when I got my hands on the 2,000 hours of this game and being in the crypts constantly. And if you look, you'll actually see that some of the modules are facing different directions. In the top picture there, we've got barracks at the bottom right. And that module is flipped to the right by 90 degrees, I think, or 45 degrees. Yeah, 90 degrees. This is something that the random dungeon will also have in it. You'll see that modules will have their exits and entrances facing different directions. You'll even see dead ends where they didn't exist before. It just creates this like whole new level of mystery when you literally have no idea what's in front of you until you look through that door and open it yourself.
Yeah, I think the fog.
That's crazy. It doesn't even highlight the modules. It just shows pieces.
Makes the
it's just like wherever you've been.
Feel super organic, and takes it back to what I think, the original feeling that a lot of players really miss and wanted more of.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so you guys know, for now, Crypts is the only map that currently has the randomized dungeon, but the plan is eventually in some way, shape, or form, every map to receive this treatment. Whether it's fully randomized, whether there's additional layouts, whether it's some new feature that's planned for that map and how the layouts are randomized, that will eventually take place as far as we know. Of course, these things are subject to change, but that is the plan for now. So eventually we will hopefully have all of the maps set up with randomization, which is really, really exciting stuff. It's hard to explain. I wanted to show a clip, but it's showing some like assets that weren't quite ready yet, where I spawned in Cistern at the southeast, and that's the like kind of swamp area in the crypts with all the zombies and the bridge through the middle of it. And there's a new set of rubble that created a walkway that didn't exist before that led to a platform that I could walk on and walk into a new room. And I opened up at the back of Longbridge right next to the skeleton archer with the health shrine, and it just blew my mind the second I walked through. I was like, oh my God, this room feels completely different now because there's actually an escape at the back. And
thank you, Toast.
If you fall down here, you can still get out and it's not totally ruined. Just that alone, like I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then I ran to the next module. I was like, wait, this was never here before. This is like a whole new room. So it does, like, I think some people were worried, like, the really good players are still just going to spawn rush and break down doors and run through the dungeon. But genuinely, especially in High Roller, you can't do that. You're going to get yourself killed. It's like you think you know where you're going, and then you back yourself into a corner with some mobs that weren't there before, and you're like, uh-oh.
That was actually sick.
We're going to talk about
the randomized dungeon with the Fog of War thing.
Waiting for.
Fucking cooks.
And before we get into this, Grayson, I'd like you to share some insights on what the development process was like for Sorcerer, because it's a really interesting class with a lot going on for it, and it feels very different to wizard. I think people were worried that it's just going to be a better wizard, and like, why would you ever play wizard again? After actually playing it myself, I can tell you for sure that's not the case.
So so a quick insight on
Sorcerer. Yeah, I wonder if the map is shared with group people or players or not.
The surprise is, for me right now, the only thing I've been literally playing as wizard for almost 6 months now. I haven't really touched any other class. Usually when I play one class, I only stick to that, and I just like mastering that class, right? Well,
Hell yeah,
a
Grayson.
lot of people, like you said, were concerned that Sorcerer and Wizard were going to be very similar. When I jumped on to Sorcerer from Wizard, it is so different that it's like a mind. It messes with your head a little bit. As for how you actually play it, right?
Yeah.
It is totally different, and I can't tell you why without ruining, but as soon as you get on Sorcerer the first time, you'll immediately understand. If you played Wizard, going from Wizard to Sorcerer is very, very tricky, right?
Yeah.
Right. As for the spells, totally different. In my opinion, Wizard has a lot of upfront damage still.
Yeah, it like unleashes a lot of bursts and just constantly unleashing fire and lightning and stuff.
So, just without ruining anything, because you guys are gonna have this wipe is so awesome. There's so much new stuff coming. Basically, the Sorcerer is not like the Wizard at all. The spells, very, very different compared to almost any Dark and Darker spells in the game right now. I think everybody's going to be super impressed. The original mindset of Wizard and Sorcerer, same? No, not at all.
Yeah, so there's one thing we can talk about because it was revealed in previous Q&As. The Wizard operates on cooldowns instead of spell charges. So like the Warlock, who pays health and has no downtime because they have to be effective with their health pool, which is essentially their resource pool. The Wizard and Cleric have spell charges, which means there is a limit to what they can do in a single fight before they have to reset. The Sorcerer does not have those limitations, but it does have cooldowns. So like you mentioned, the Wizard has all this like super powerful explosive magic in the tank, and they can unleash it in a really short window and just do a lot of damage and really like lock down a front line or just push in and devastate a team. The Sorcerer is a little bit more controlled because of the cooldown aspect, each spell having its own cooldown. We're not going to reveal everything here, but we do have some really cool clips to show you guys, and we'll just jump. You know what? We'll just get right into it.
Oh shit, let's go.
I know everybody's waiting, but
clips,
first,
baby.
Let's open up with our
Give
first
me the clips.
Here. This one was a lot of fun when I found out about this. We have a Durnbot. So you might not be able to tell, but this spell actually does do damage at the cost of
shit!
Right up into the sky.
You get a jump.
So, it had a whole pack.
There's a fucking jump pad.
I don't really feel like dealing with this.
I'm in. Sign me up. Let's go, baby.
Let's get in. You probably noticed that this is a little bit of a connection in the
oh my god!
Before. You'll see some interesting layouts as we look through these clips.
Dude, what the hell was that little?
Kind of limited because we want to keep things a secret. But we do have a really cool surprise for you in the third clip. But before we get to that, let's show off the second clip.
Dual cast. Let's go, baby! Yo, this is amazing.
During early development with the Sorcerer reveal they cast with both hands.
You can summon a stone golem.
Spells to create
ice sword.
What? Show off all of them. We'll leave some of them a secret. But
come on!
We've got a Sorcerer. We've got a little summon here. We've got.
Yo, I love this. This is everything I wanted this fucking class to be.
And then a little ice spell you might notice in the right hand there, which gives it the buff. And you see when you pull out, similar to Ignite, we've got a new freezing buff exclusive to the Sorcerer for the time being. Very exciting stuff. I found it was quite powerful, I'll say.
Dude, the combo, the Frostfire, and it slowed him. See, he's got a little ice trail.
I'm wearing a Squire kit in this clip, so no scaling whatsoever, really just using like, I'm the Squire.
Dude, the fucking Frost Sword. The Ice Sword, dude. The Ice Falchion. It looked like he can use a Falchion and he buffed it with ice.
And I know everyone's kind of looking forward to
like he buffed himself and then pulled the Falchion out.
Hearing about some additions to the clips and what's coming with the new layout. So we've only
Sorks can use falchions.
I want to give you guys a taste of something that we're very excited to reveal, and I know people have been asking for it for a really long time. So let's take a look.
Yeah, you have spell combinations like Skyrim.
Oh, would you look at that? Who's that guy?
Holy fuck, dude! Look at the boss room. The Lich boss room. Is he in crypts now?
Oh, baby. Yeah, so
he's in crypts now.
Spells here that we're showing off. I'm not gonna tell you the names of them.
That little fucking meteor.
Oh, what's this? Yes. The Sorcerer
Firewall.
is supremely cool. I'm gonna tell you right now, walking away from
my brain is fucking imploding.
Internally, and then everybody getting a chance to see it. Everyone was like, "No way, this class is so cool."
Swords cast with their bare hands. They don't need a focus.
The boss on the crypts was like, "Dude, what?" I gotta tell you, this.
They got a wind blast.
All the way up and like look at the ceiling, the fog effects, and just the light. It's so nice, and you can see it's running.
The fucking firewall, and it's like it's earth and fire makes the firewall.
It's so awesome.
Dude,
they put the Lich on crypts.
How I felt, literally both things I found out at the same time. I was like, okay, here's all this really cool Sorcerer stuff, and then I also found out with the bosses in the crypts. Are you serious? So, when I tell you guys,
yeah, dude, they got a wind blast, they got a knockback.
This upcoming season with
holy
the
shit,
crypts,
they've got a distance creator.
It's a much bigger deal than you think. I'm serious. This is such a cool addition to the game, and I'm really looking forward to when eventually we get random dungeons for all of the maps, because it's just going to completely change the way the game feels. It really, like you mentioned before, hammering in on that idea that it just brings back the mystery and excitement of exploring, and you never know what's around the corner. You never know what's next. You could walk
100%. I'm going Sork day one, dude.
Safe, trying to escape somebody and find yourself
the
in
spell
a dead
weaving,
end, or you could chase someone into a terrible.
But you notice they're not going invisible,
and they can take advantage of it.
They're not going invisible. They don't have haste.
Pause for thought and how you play the.
There's no fireball.
Yes, and
no chain lightning.
Personally, I know.
I don't think Wizard's dead.
Say, like, you know,
I don't think Wizard's dead.
Make the player's expectations.
I think it just gives people another option.
On a personal note, I think this is one of the most content-packed and unique Dark and Darker patches we've ever done.
That looks so good, though.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like, yeah,
what up, Ken?
My
Dissonance Bard all day, Sebastian.
Disagree with us, or yeah, he's usually one to temper player expectations. And of course, I just wanted to let everybody know
that looks so good,
they
bro.
are subject to change. These are things that are planned to come
looks
up for
so
wipe,
good,
and they're going to be in for launch. But we're always still tweaking things up to the last minute to make sure they feel as good as possible. So, take everything you see with a grain of salt, but it's still really exciting stuff.
Yeah, send it, dude. The jump was cool.
There's one more cool thing that I'd like to show off before we move into kind of our community.
Gave himself a fucking jump pad.
I hope everybody
aiming it at the floor to do a wind burst up in the air is sick.
Adding so far, but this morning, we got a message from SDF. They whipped up something special for us. And Grayson, I'll let you talk about this. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to a quick little slideshow of something that everybody's also been waiting for, that's been on the horizon for a while now, and that is the Shipgrave part of the Blue Maelstrom.
Wait, what? Oh,
so
this
Grayson,
is the new map.
A little bit about what it was like playing on this map, man.
So
this is the water map.
I still remember the first time I ever played on this map, and I will say it was like, wow.
Holy shit.
We are
it's
going
like
in the right direction.
It's like
before
a coastal like
this, I just want to let
shipwreck?
everybody know this is still in development. This is not coming with the wipe. This is sometime planned in 2025. So, we're not releasing this with the wipe. It's still a work in progress, and they wanted to let us know that some of the lighting and tone may change, but the overall atmosphere.
This looks awesome too.
Is really going to be similar to the final release. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off, Grayson.
Yeah, no problem. So honestly, right when I stepped into this map for the first time, it was beautiful. It felt like the map team did such a good job of making this map. They really made it into going into a completely different atmosphere.
That looks pretty sick, dude.
I won't say going into a different game, but
so the water map isn't really like Atlantis. It's like pirate themed coastal shipwreck kind of shit.
One thing that felt weird about
I'm down with it.
The Ice Cavern and the Howling Crypts was I always felt like when I was going in there, the atmosphere was very different.
Is that a Wendigo?
But the shape,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Wendigo.
Like crypts. But when I stepped into this map for the first time, I was just like, wow. This
Chat,
is
we're
so new.
subathoning it. Like, we're marathoning
so
the shit
good.
out of this on the 18th, by the way.
One thing I
I
noticed
will be
about looking
live
at these images
for
here
fucking
is that
days.
There's a lot of verticality.
We're
which is
just gonna
something
stay live.
I've really wanted in Dark and Darker maps. Like just looking at this with the
Family's going out of town to do
underwater
Christmas with
aspects,
in-laws
all
and
these
stuff, and I'm
platforms,
staying
you can
home to
see there's,
work.
like,
So
three
we're gonna be
tiers,
live the whole fucking
Just
weekend.
in this image alone. There's so much verticality and mobility.
No Man's War from
available on this
DS2.
map
Dude,
that it
this
just
game
gets me
feels like
really
it's heavily
excited
inspired
about
by Dark Souls, I'm not gonna lie.
it. I think
December
what was your
18th.
experience? Have you gotten into the underwater segments yet? I know we might be venturing into territory of
Staying
things we
home to
can't
work,
talk about, but
quote unquote.
I don't know if
Listen.
there's been any early access to the underwater areas or any kind of early versions of swimming.
Yeah, so without going into territory we can't talk about. I will just say, as a water map, and it's based 90% water, right? You should expect swimming in Dark and Darker.
Well, they said that already. They told us that there was going to be swimming.
Yeah, I think Terry and SCF have talked about it before. They mentioned that is most likely going to be a thing that gets added. Obviously there's some things that we can't talk about, but I don't want to speak for SCF. I know that he mentioned that he's interested in adding things like fishing and stuff down the line. So who knows what could possibly come with
Fishing on this map would be sick.
It is off for a reason.
Dude, what if you could
but
fish
actually,
up a Kraken
real
boss
quick,
on accident?
Grayson, if you don't mind, if you
Like
want to just take
in
this away
like
for a moment,
OG
I've got
Final
a
Fantasy
message that I
MMO
need
days.
to answer real quick.
When you were on the boat, remember?
So
Yeah,
you could fish up the fucking boss.
If you'd like, I can go ahead and bring back up this Sorcerer clip.
Or like World of
so that we
Warcraft,
can,
like
talk a little
Lady
bit more
Vash's
about what
temple
the
or whatever.
development has been
Sunken
like
Temple.
for Sorcerer.
Yeah. So awesome. So I think
That's a water spell.
Everyone always is saying like, "Oh, it's going to be just like wizard. How can a sorcerer and wizard be different?" And I think designers do a really great job in differentiating these classes. So another thing that I really liked was without.
He's hard to hear over the game audio.
Completely spoiling
there they go.
the class, right? The limitations are very different than what you would get from playing a wizard. So if you're going into this basically expecting that it's going to be just a better wizard, it's really not going to be.
If you notice, he's casting like
not the right
a
term,
spell
right?
or two
it's
or whatever
different.
from like
It's
one school.
It feels fundamentally different to,
And that's kind of it, right?
The cooldowns being
Like he had 3 fire spells there,
the
but
class is designed really just like
it's
makes
probably
you
like a number of
feel
charges like per element.
like you've got to be more conscientious of your toolkit.
And then
have
you've got
to
cooldowns,
think
right?
about how you're going to use your spells, and especially with the combinations that are available, as you see in the clip. We summon up a little firewall there. That's just one of several combinations that the sorcerer has.
I love that you
There are
get
a bunch that
combos,
we will
though.
leave
It's so
for everyone
sick.
to uncover. But it's like you really.
I
want to
know what that little water orb does.
The thinker to get the most out of this class, and I think that's exciting because I think some of the classes might feel a little too straightforward.
1, 2, 3.
Or,
No, he's got 6.
People might have been
It's
worried
3
that
and
this
3.
is just going to be like the class has giga nukes on a 5-second cooldown. We're just going to keep spamming those. No, it's
3
it's
archers,
really a
3
creative
3
class.
footmen.
As you saw,
It's always been there.
There was an image of, or there was a clip of doing like a little rocket boost with the eruption spell. That is just one of the many things that the sorcerer has in the toolkit. And I apologize, guys. I'm just vamping here on the side for a second because we're trying to get something a little special for you organized here. If you don't mind holding on for just a moment. Yeah.
Let's go.
there's one more.
Eruption name
thing.
drop, yeah.
We're trying to get a special appearance from Terry and SDF, who were not originally going to be available for this because of the ridiculous time that it is in Korea. Which, thank you again, Grayson, for being here for this. Uh-oh. Guys, we lost him. I created a new phone call. There we go. There's Terry.
Nice.
Sorry about that. Okay, guys. So originally we were not planning to have Terry and SCF available. I don't know if because it's late at night. I'm assuming you guys are not going to have your.
It looks so sick,
cameras,
dude.
and that's okay. We'll just leave some stuff up here on the screen. For
I don't know,
people to check
Dab.
out.
I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with the loot tables
welcome on to
later.
the show, Terry. Thanks for being here. I'm trying to get SDF added.
Still being on
Hopefully
Crips
this
is
my friend
sick.
list.
Yeah, sorry for barging in on you guys.
No
Hey.
worries.
What's up? Hey, what's going on, huh? Is something special going on right now?
Oh no, we're just having a chat. Nothing crazy. We're just talking.
This looks so sick, dude. Oh my gosh.
All right,
It's so sick.
Appreciate that. So guys, yeah, this is the pilot episode, and in the future we plan to expand this a bit more, get Terry and SDF on at the start of the show. We'll probably do this at a different time, but it is super late at night in Korea, so we really appreciate you guys showing up. Welcome in, SDF. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, I can imagine why. It's now almost 4 a.m. for you guys.
That firewall looks awesome. Oh my lord.
You can tell by our voices. I just woke up too, but hey,
Yeah.
this is awesome. Great job.
We turn you guys up so everybody can hear.
It would not be the pilot episode if you guys did not show up.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. It's great to have you guys here. So, what do you think so far? I mean, the reception thus far for Sorcerer, and I think everyone's really surprised to see the Lich and the Crypts. This is something that people have been asking for a really long time, and it really shakes up the dynamic of the map to have the boss here. How are you guys feeling about this coming up on the new season?
So for the Sorcerer, I think we're gonna SDF. He's the one that's, he can give a lot of input onto that side. But for me, with the random dungeons, I think it's kind of going back to our roots of the dungeon crawling experience. That was something that's kind of sorely missed, especially playing through this season. I played pretty, this season I think I played over like 200 hours. So this is one of the most I was able to play.
And the rock golem throws fucking boulders at people.
Everything.
That's so cool.
It was almost like, like long time, like 20 years ago, for me playing the same big game hunters map on like StarCraft. It's like you load in, okay, I'm at this location, I have my set, pattern stuff, and so that's
he's hucking rocks at people, dude.
That kind of feeling of mystery that we wanted to instill when we were.
What is that golem?
Starting this
it's a stone golem that got summoned by
part of the magic
Sorcerer.
Spot. And so I think, originally we didn't have this plan to do the random dungeons.
Hucking rocks at him. It's sick.
It was a kind of a midway pivot, but man, that first time.
No, he enchanted it.
Got it running.
He put like he put an ice enchant on his falchion.
That's just like part of your bane. But you look,
and then the fucking jump pad, dude. God damn.
Oh, it's hard to describe that, right? And then the other part is, there's these kind of design decisions that we were talking
about. Free viola.
And, originally, we started with the having that kind of the Dark Swarm as that BR circle.
Yeah.
And we removed that, right? 2 seasons ago, and I think there was a lot of benefit.
God, the Sorcerer looks good.
But
Jesus,
the removal of that dynamic, the circle, you didn't know where it's going to end, right? So that's why you had a lot of variety, and that kind of led you to forced you to kind of explore the dungeons to certain areas. And with the removal of that, it's like, okay, now it went the opposite, and it made it so memorizing and having that kind of standardized pattern made more sense, right? And rewarded you for that. But again, it took away from that mystery. But now you get thrown into this random dungeon, and first of all, you don't even know where the exits are. You don't know where the extracts or the downporters are. So you're forced to start opening doors, go to the next one, clear it out, and not know like what's around that corner, and having that feeling return after half a year of this stagnated experience. Now it was like, dang, that was pretty refreshing.
Yeah, we so in the darkest hour that we did last week with Soma over on his channel, we talked a little bit about how one of the frustrations that players had in the previous season was like HR Crypts specifically had a lot of these really like it was really predictable how the map would play out because the spawns were fixed, the layout was fixed, and everybody knew the routes that everyone would take, so the fights would always happen in the same place. And the simple introduction of randomizing the maps completely flips that on its head and you now have to be very careful about every step that you take. As we were talking about earlier before you guys joined, you could find yourself at a dead end without realizing it, thinking like, oh, I know my way through this module. Wait a second, there's not a door here. I'm stuck.
Yes. So I mean, so I'll give you my personal thoughts. Like after that, after we got it working pretty well, my thought was, so I'm kind of at like this. My heart is torn a little bit because we're at the start of the season. We're only going to have the crypts ready with the random dungeons.
Right.
So for me was, oh sorry, no, my daughter woke up, but I'm sorry, but for me honestly, after playing the random dungeons on the crypts, I was like, oh no, I don't want to play any other map. I don't want to play ruins. I don't want to. So personally, the last like week and a half is like, okay, all that's been going through my mind is, what's the way that we could start?
When's Jordan getting Yeti for him?
Local,
they said they want to do gorilla and penguin, right?
So to get that random dungeon system.
If they go penguin, I want you to be able to pick them up and throw the druid at somebody, like beak first, like a little penguin scud missile.
I think, that's going to be a challenge for me and the dev team to figure out how we're going to approach that, I guess, for this upcoming season.
What the fuck's a penguin going to do? I don't know, man. I got no idea. But they said they wanted a penguin.
I mean, I think most people would tell you Crypts has been their favorite since the very beginning, but I'm curious to hear from SCF what your thoughts are on the random dungeon so far, and basically, like I mentioned before, the addition of bosses to the Crypts is another huge shakeup that I think a lot of people weren't expecting. So how are you feeling coming up on wipe here with the randomized Crypts and everything?
What?
Oh yeah, the penguin form. Maybe that's like fast swimmer.
Yeah. So sorry. So with the bosses being added to the crypts, that was a really big update that people have been asking for quite a while now, but I don't think anybody was expecting it to come with this update. And now with the randomized dungeon, it really makes crypts feel like an evolution of the Dark and Darker experience. So how are you feeling about the crypts and the bosses going forward with this wipe?
Honestly, I have no idea with the random dungeon because I'm not a fan of random dungeon, but but it works so well and it was so fun. But I did not escape at least once. I did not escape.
Unbelievable.
Because that's so hard to find. At once I escaped. I think. Yeah. I abandoned my teammate.
The rest of his team. He was like, I finally found this extract.
Yeah, that's something I think people aren't expecting about the random dungeon, is that now you are actually going to have to find your extracts.
Yeah.
I want to tell something. Firstly, sorry about my English, but people keep asking about what is this game? Is this a PvP game or the PvE game? But it's not only PvP or the PvE game. We want all that, Yeah.
Right.
Then we are, yes, we. In this season now season wipe 5, then we almost I think we focus to arena so much, I think. But really I want to finish the PvP side, because I want to focus to PvE side. Then next season we focus to that.
So you're saying
maybe Terry will more.
Yeah.
Accurately.
Yeah. I mean, so I know because we had this discussion for a long time, is that one of the big criticisms for this season, again, I do apologize that we didn't have a lot of big content, for this current season dropping. But our biggest, win for us internally was the launch of the arenas. But that one of the big criticisms is, hey, why are you guys only focusing on the PvP? It's like, hey, is the direction of darker and darker? This is kind of like a full battle arena game, and that's not the
Shut the fuck up.
full vision that we want to accomplish. So our game is, we do believe that there's multiple pillars that we're trying to, we're trying to, satisfy different types of personalities. And so that does include the PvP focus aspects of the game. And this season with the arena, we did focus on the PvP because it was a economic decision for us. And, PvP, if we could get that part, somewhat fulfilled, it's one of the stuff that when we had our limited resources, where we could instill a lot of variety.
Right.
And so, so the main message is that we don't want the people that are looking for other aspects of enjoyment from our game, like the dungeon crawling, the PvE achievements. Oh, sorry. I'm my daughter to sleep. She's big now, so she's kind of heavy. Yeah. I'm getting winded.
You're just like, we wanted to make a video game that we could.
Yeah, so
that will help for understanding.
Yeah. Well, so real quick, let's give a little context to that for everybody who's here. So I know, in the early days of Dark and Darker, there were a lot of talks about it being like a 10-year game, and that there were all these pillars that were the focus of development for fulfilling different interests of the player base. There was the PvE, the PvP, how those two things combined, the extraction aspect of things. So as SDF mentioned, these pillars are really important to the way the game is developed. And just because this arena season, which in my opinion, I was really excited about arena, just because the focus was on arena this time around doesn't necessarily mean that those other pillars have, fallen by the wayside. Would you say that they're still equally important? And can you talk a little bit about them?
So exactly, yeah. So I mean, so when we're talking about the other pillars, right? We talk about like these 4 pillars. This actually comes from this Professor Bardo, Richard Bardo, who's like one of the first guys that, like, he's the guy that created this like online gaming.
Is that the Ultima Online developer?
No, that's Richard Garriott.
Richard Garriott, yeah.
Bardo, yeah. So Professor Bardo, he's the one that did it's called Multi-User Dungeon, MUD. It's like a text-based online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But basically, he talks about the 4 main types of archetypes for people that play online or like play for virtual world. And so abstractly, you say that there's the PvP players, the PvE explorers, the achievers. Sorry, and then the last one. 춘님 네 번째 거가 뭐였죠?
뭐 PvP, PvE 그리고 Achiever 그리고 Socializer.
And then the Socializer, right? And I forgot the one that I get thrown. The type of player that I'm mostly. But so our goal is to find ways to satisfy all 4 of those type of archetypes, right? Mm-hmm. And so this season, it was like a conscious decision. Hey, we're going to focus on the PvP because we were so resource, thin. And that's the one that we felt was, hey, this is the one that has the most low-hanging fruit. And so, but now that we're feeling pretty satisfied with it, is that, the other aspects are just as equally as important for us. And that's why, this season is we're trying to go back to giving that kind of feeling of mystery and magic for exploration, right? And that's why we're like, okay, hey, let's try to figure out how to do, what is it, the random dungeons.
Yep.
And then the last thing is, so this is the one part that we're not sure it's going to be ready for the launch, but actually after the recent test, we're seeing a lot more optimism. I'm seeing a lot more optimism. It's like the continuous dungeon. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes it like a semi-persistent session. So it feels, where you have people coming in dynamically. And oh my God, that feels different too.
Yeah, so real quick, let's actually talk about that continuous dungeon. SCF mentioned that we'd like to bring that up. And when Grace and I were getting ready to do the show, we weren't really sure where we were at with that, and we're not quite in the position to talk about it. But I know that recent internal QA, there was some testing being done with that. What is that system like, yes. and how does it feel?
Well, so yeah, it's basically I wish we had like another couple days to prep for that, and then we could have actually had some better than just placeholder stuff that we could have showed off. But it's basically you could you load into a dungeon in real time. You don't all start at the same time, and so it basically makes the dungeon feel more unknown, right? And so sometimes you load into the dungeon midway, and this is the weirdest feeling because you hit the start button. Also, logistically for us and technically, is that it makes it very much easier. Much easier for us to make the servers feel or sessions feel populated. We could populate sessions. I guess it puts less strain, and we could support making the dungeons feel more lived in or more just more populated with having a smaller base population. And so this, I think the other thing is it scales really well for us too, is that you hit enter and you get loaded into the map and you're like, wait a second, you start in this room, and I was like, I started in that room with the pyramid with the death skulls,
right?
A bunch of those. And you start in that little room in the corner, right? So I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. But the door was already open. I was like, oh, I got to report this as a bug. But then I stepped outside, and then you see a corpse of another player. What the heck? Wait. And then you're like, oh, wait, that door's already open? There's like a line of death skulls? What's going on here? It's like, it took a little bit for it to register, like, oh, wait a second. And then, you're trying to follow the footsteps. Okay, what's going on here? And it kind of felt like a detective mystery kind of thing. I was like, oh, this is cool. So again, this is something I'm working on. We can't guarantee that this is 100% going to be ready in time for the start of the wipe, but I think this is something that I'm feeling pretty optimistic about.
Yeah, I think there's
returning back to that kind of dungeon crawling feel. So that's kind of the goal here for this upcoming season. Is that PvP was last season's goal, and again, this is just a start. That's what we want. That's the other thing that SDF and I have been talking about is, okay, the exploration part, to get that right, that's a huge. That's a big investment of resources. That at least we could do stuff system-wise that we think we could at least start giving some content back to bring back some of that magic.
Mm-hmm. So, Terry, I have a question. Do you think the combination of these changes coming in is what's going to bring us Dark and Darker to the next level?
I see. So
I heard a lot of yap. I don't.
No, we just test.
Yeah, I think SDFI, we talk about it. We're still very early in on this, this whole kind of journey for what Dark and Darker is. And we're, like, I know SDF, he has a very concrete vision of what he wants this project to be, but it doesn't have all, that vision doesn't have every single little detail down yet. And we're still on that journey of trying to figure out exactly what those details are. And so it's still exploration. And like when we have that early access tag on our product, we really do mean it's early access, because we're trying to still figure out, hey, what exactly do those details entail?
Yeah, can I just say, I think one thing, like, okay, so from the perspective of somebody who joined this company after playing the game for a really long time, but also somebody who's been, I've worked with a lot of different like early access games to do tournaments and stuff. A lot of early access games, they're in development for 3-4 years before they even go to early access, and they've got like alpha builds. Dark and Darker started development in like mid 2022, right?
Yeah, well, in earnest, yeah, probably not mid. So that's when we launched, but we started at the end of 2021.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, it's now maybe 3 years, right?
Right. So it actually released into early access for the public to play. Like a year and a half, 2 years into development. So at least from my perspective, and obviously, I work here, so nobody's holding a gun to my head to tell me to say this, but from my perspective, compared to a lot of early access games, this kind of development, I think I'm just really impressed with what the team has managed to accomplish since like we came back to Steam and then up to now. Actually playing this on the test server and getting to feel, I said this before, I genuinely feel like the game just feels like more responsive. I don't know if there were updates to the engine or if it's just because the randomized modules system is really optimized and Crypts, it just runs really well, but the game feels snappier and more responsive, and it does to me, like I said, it kind of does feel
it's also because the server that they're playing on isn't under load.
You guys like the temper,
you got a single dedicated instance
this is the future
with a handful of people versus everyone flocking to them at the same time, so
we're
it should feel good.
We're still in the first half of that race, so yeah, but again,
I'm kind of pogging over this though. Sorcerer looks amazing. Like, randomized dungeon looks fucking sick.
2 weeks ago, how
putting Lich on Crypts is fucking sick.
I was like, oh man, this
knowing that the gem system will give you stats, but they won't be best in slot stats because you'll be limited in terms of how much of a stat you can get versus like finding it in the wild naturally. I like.
We're playtesting it each day. It just keeps on going up and up and up. And today I was like, okay, I feel really hopeful now, because I'm having a blast playing these kind of, and that sense of mystery is kind of coming back, right? And so that's the thing, is like, okay, we still have a lot of tweaking and stuff for the initial release of these big tempo features. And so like random dungeons, this is just a start. But the thing is, for us now, is seeing that it's already fun to play in its, this initial version, that gives us a lot of hope for like, oh, we see the potential for this platform. So I'll just give you one example with the random dungeons, is that before we were kind of technically kind of limited of how we could start introducing new modules before the random dungeon system. With this new random dungeons, it's like, hey, if we build one single like 32 by 32 meter module, we could put that in, the next patch. Whereas like,
oh, you're saying like just add like have somebody build an entirely new module and then just drop it into the random rotation.
Yeah, like now it's gonna start giving us all this extra freedom, and so like it just opens up all these branches for like, oh my god, all these different ideas. So like SDF and I was like, hey, not just like technically, just like how to do business. We're like, hey, if this works out, man, like new content, we could like we could start looking into like the Steam Workshop, or like leveraging the community and saying, is there ways that we could have the community start contributing?
Wow.
Modules. So again, this is so so much in the infancy. But the thing is, the fact that we could even start having these kind of conversations because we have the system, that we didn't have 3 weeks ago, and now we do, and we could start seeing these kind of potentials. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, okay, so we're still planting these seeds for the future, but it's like, hey, so these things that we started planting seeds that we're working on right now, even in baby form right now, is like, hey, it's pretty exciting.
Well,
and so
the idea of having workshop support where players can help produce maps is something I've heard in recent community discussion many times. So to hear even that, it's not necessarily a promise thing or that it will come, but the fact that idea is even on the radar is really exciting. And I've already seen a lot of people pretty excited about that in chat. So it's awesome to hear.
Yeah. So
I think the gem system is going to be good.
Again,
you're going to get mid stats from the gems, and I think that's a good thing.
Of course.
So this is version,
because that means like random world BIS is still going to be super valuable, but it also makes a market for all the gems to be sold in a secondary market capacity.
You've seen our confluence.
I think it's a good thing.
When we start like a lot of these features, there's a lot of stuff on our design board that is like so and so feature version 0.1 to 0.2, because we're going incrementally, and so man, for random dungeons.
Yeah, Crash, I'm with you on that, though. I mentioned that to them in the Devcast that I did with them two weeks ago, last week, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago.
Right now, we can only support
the quests that send you to look for a specific module. Those are going to have to get changed because people are just going to be running around randomly, like trying to find shit, and it's going to suck.
Dungeons. But again, because this is the first version is working so well, we're already like thinking you had to. Oh my God, we could start experimenting with different.
No, it's not like that, Devils. You have to use a legendary gem and a legendary weapon or armor piece.
Very
you have to use an epic gem and an epic armor piece or epic weapon. You can't get the highest possible rolls. That's the whole point.
Possibilities. And so I think that's the thing that's exciting for me is, hey, next week, you guys, the community itself, get to partake in seeing that what we've been able to enjoy internally for the last 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, so you guys heard it here first. Circle maps.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
They wanted to have random shaped dungeons too, not squares.
We weren't even able to fathom something like that 3 weeks ago, and we literally,
So like RNG on gems.
Our main designers that helped us.
Well, I mean, it's not. You get to pick the stat that you're rolling into. It's just going to have a range, and it won't be like, let's say, like the best possible roll you could get is like 5 HP, right? It might be the gem only gives you 3 to 4, and you're not going to get 5, but you could on like a found piece of gear, you could have 5, right?
Without saying who it is that who I think it is?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And so it's enabling us to have these kind of conversations that we couldn't even think of having, just a couple of weeks ago. And I think that's the thing that's making us more exciting.
No, you'll be able to buy the gems on the market. That's kind of the point. It gives gems a secondary market purpose, so people can sell gems on the market, right?
Brainstorming stage, but hopefully.
Yeah, that's the idea. BIS is found, not made, right? Otherwise, everyone will have BIS.
Themselves can
and then it kind of kills it.
Start seeing that potential, but the actuality of it is the starting base is still pretty solid,
Yeah, I mean, this is all really exciting.
Yeah, I think this is good content, man. I think this is a good content addition.
Development process has
randomizing crypts will end up keeping the game mode like relatively fresh, because the layout changing is kind of the point. And they said that they have like 50 modules or something, and they're picking 16 from the 50.
There's always times where people are like, well, is this the only focus?
Because it's going to be a 4x4 map.
Or is this where they're going to set the limit for themselves? But hearing about the fact that the game is just continuously growing in potential while being developed is very exciting. As a player, it's just, I really look forward to, like, I'm just so excited for Random Dungeon to go live. Like, it's like you
Random Dungeon's gonna be sick.
It's the only thing I just want to play Crypts. I just want to be on Crypts all the time, 24/7. SCF, you mentioned that you're not a big fan of randomized dungeons, but you said it felt really good to play on. And do you think that sort of catering to the exploration player has been at the center of designing the random dungeon? What was the idea?
They're still doing no rotation. That's the plan. But they're replacing the rotation system with an infill system. We just don't know at what point the timer cuts people off.
Changes just a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 rooms.
I'm hoping that it's like 3 or 4 minutes at most. Because if it ends up being like 6 or 7 minutes, I think most of the good loot that people would want is going to already be picked, and it's going to suck. Like 3 to 4 minutes in, I think is fine. If it's like 6 to 7 minutes, I think it's going to be shit.
We were doing a lot of talking. I don't know if SDF's still with us.
It was a very, very.
The court verdict is supposed to be read in 4 days.
When we were first
technically 3 days for Korea, because Korea is into tomorrow already.
I was typing something.
Because it's like 4 a.m. in Korea right now.
Oh yeah. So.
All right, so SDF's a little busy, so we'll come back to that question another time. So
yeah,
I mean,
Monday.
There's a few things that we weren't
Monday
sure
to Tuesday.
That we can talk about, but SDF just gave us a little bit of context here. If Terry wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy in chat that said, "Thank God Onepeg isn't here"?
Mention it now.
Wait, really?
The new thing that we're testing.
Did he really?
With the
some guy wrote, "Thank God Onepeg isn't here." Stop it.
Again, internally we were doing I think random dungeons. Now we have a really solid base, and I've already talked about.
Now I want to find him just so I can reply to him.
Let's get out there with version 0.1, and then we're gonna get that feedback, and then just recently we started testing the continuous dungeon. I wish that we had something that we could show there, but I just want to give I gave you one of my initial impressions was starting it there, and we're pretty excited for that, but I think it's gonna also open us up to start exploring a little bit, and it's gonna improve the quality of the matchmaking. So
dude, I'm catching strays from everybody lately. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Freedoms for us,
I don't know what I did to piss people off, but apparently me existing just makes people angry.
We're having a smaller minimum pool. So I think, when continuous dungeons go in, we no longer need to worry about doing.
I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
So that's something we're excited about. I was which is kind of ironic, because I'd say I just want to only play crypts now.
Yeah, these are preview screen caps of a new map. Yeah,
when the continuous dungeons goes in. But again, this is the starting ground, and we're gonna start working on, making it compatible with all the other biomes. But I think for people that want to do the quests and stuff, is now you no longer need to be restricted to I have to wait for certain timers, and this also extends to going down or escaping, extracting, right? And so I think it's just going to make everything feel more dynamic, and that's kind of the key word for this upcoming season is let's make things, bring back some of that mystery and make things dynamic again, right?
Yeah, so as SDF mentioned that on top of that, with this modular, with the design of the modular maps, which early on the idea was always the vision of creating modules, was to be able to then put them into a pool, randomize them.
I don't think Zyro was trying to say something wrong. I think Zyro was just pointing out that
SCF is mentioning also
people are being shitty toward other people for no reason.
We're going to be able to also randomize.
I don't think he said anything
monsters and chests.
I think you guys read it the wrong way.
And additional things like that.
Yeah, that's the next step up, right? Is hey, we want to start really big to see if that felt okay. Again, it was an experiment for us. It's we think it's going to be fun, but and
I enjoy your content. My opinion matters more than the haters confirmed. Wait, what? Dude, I'm so lost. I don't know what's happening.
Entering aspect is back, but then when you open the door and then you go into the module and then you're repeating your pattern again, it's okay, and it makes us want to improve little by little, even
the continuous dungeon. Or the multiple floors thing?
Down one level.
I think it's going to be cool, man.
Hey, now let's think about
with the fog of war, you can't see where the stairs are, so you still got to go find them, right?
Inside each module.
Yeah, maybe just put 12 demon berserkers on the demon altar. So if you want that skull key, you're going to earn that skull key.
Yep. So these are, again, conversations that was difficult for us to have just even 3 weeks ago. And now we could start joking about doing this and actually do it for, for real, right? Once we start getting our handle on the system.
I kind of agree with that thought though too, Flex. I kind of agree with that.
Optimistic.
Like if I'm standing on the top of the pyramid and I can see the entire pyramid, but it only gives me the fog of war for the little like fucking shit that I'm. You know what I mean? It seems kind of odd.
About, like, you know, Hotfix 69.
Like I have fog of war for stuff that I've already looked at. Right? Doesn't really feel right. I agree with that.
It had to be the way I look at it.
But I mean,
like, hey, this is something that
it's something that they can always
necessary evil
like build up,
go through.
Right?
And you know,
for the start, I'm not necessarily like I don't necessarily hate it. Maybe they just need to have like a little bit wider of a radius around your character or something on the map in order to like show a bit more. I don't know. I'm sure that they can tweak that.
Internally, we mature so much because of that, and so it's like
I'm okay with them removing bee hopping. They just have to give casters and rangers a little bit more mobility, like when they're drawing bows or like prepping spells. Otherwise, they're just going to get run down.
To start now.
Because the whole point of bee hopping is to try and kite. It's the only, and like they still get caught, right? Like it's the only effective method that they have for kiting. So they'd have to give, you know, like not like a lot, like 10% movement speed or something, like while they're holding a cast down or something would be fine. Although it looks like for Sorc, they've kind of adjusted that as it is, because if you notice, like Sorc doesn't really move that slow when they're prepping spells up.
Once we get out of that fog, it's like, oh, okay. Now
like you notice, like they're moving pretty quick.
That's not the direction at all. It's like, oh, okay, but now we could, the stuff that we glean from that is like,
it looks like they're not taking a movement speed penalty hardly at all.
What not to do, and so we have just more confidence on the way that
10% LOL.
You know, the stuff that we want.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, because originally they used to have it was like 40% move speed or something, and now it's 30. They've nerfed it by 10%.
I think,
and then everybody started bee hopping.
We talked a little bit about
like I mean, like
that, you know,
like playtest 4 or some shit. They slowed the cast animation, like move speed down.
Doing it randomly, it really was to try to get an understanding of what balance looks like in the vacuum.
But it looks like the Sorc is moving at like damn near full move speed when they're prepping spells.
Future updates will be to, you know, expand on the classes and give them better balance.
Well, I don't know what kind of gear they're wearing, right? Like
patch 69 was to
obviously like different spells are going to have different wind up times.
Where it was easier to predict what the power levels of the classes.
All melee classes are dead now. I don't know if that's true.
So that balance could be more tuned around it.
You got to remember, like
even SDF said, you know,
Sorc is going to be that class that's going to end up having like a payload of shit it can dump, and then it's going to have to like run away and hide somewhere while they get cooldowns off cooldown. Right?
Obviously, like you said, we learned a lot from it. I'm excited to see where it takes us in the
future. If you whiff that little firebolt, you probably don't get another one for like 5 or 6 seconds.
So sorry, I'm starting to now run out of gas.
Steve, that's okay. I was thinking we probably wrap up the show fairly soon anyway.
Oh, it's Squire gear. All right, well that makes sense.
But I wanted to give SDF an opportunity if he had anything that he wanted to talk about before we
one good longbow to the face. Yeah.
Out here, we've got just a couple of quick announcements to do, but SDF, if you have any closing comments that you'd like to share, please do.
Where do you think blues will spawn? Probably everywhere, bro.
그 얘기 한번 해주고 싶긴 해요, 태님. 우리가 이제 아이템을 왜 그렇게 스키징하고 뭐 이렇게 저렇게 막 테스트를 많이 했는지 그런 것들.
네.
With the loot buffs, I mean, blues and purples and shit are like literally everywhere now.
우리가 제일 중요하게 생각하던 거는 이제 그 시간 소모 관련된.
No, they didn't say anything about Druid. This is just like focused on the next patch. The stuff that people want to know about, really.
설명을 해줘야 그 플레이어들이 지금까지 왜 이런 것들을 했는지 이해할 수 있는데 제가 한국어로 설명하면 잘 설명하겠지만 영어로는 이걸 복잡해서.
They showed one spell that put like a frost enchant on a melee weapon. Yeah. I don't know if that's self-cast only or if you can cast it on other people. I have no idea, but there was like one temporary enchant, like a frost enchant on a weapon.
그 소켓 시스템을 잘못 사용하면 이건 이제 그냥 던전이 아무 의미가 없어질 수 있어요. 그러니까 시간이.
Resourcefulness will be huge on Sorcerer for sure. But that also makes a stat sink where like the preferential stats like move speed and health and damage and shit are going to end up having resourcefulness have to get worked in there, right? So it's like how magic healing ends up fucking up stat pools for Warlock.
좀 적당한 수준으로 땡기기 위한 시스템들이 좀 필요했던 거고 그걸 위한 얼마나 땡겨야 이 게임이 너무 헤비하지 않게 플레이어들한테 다가갈 수 있을까 이런 것들이 고민이었던 거고 그거를 이제 테스트하는 과정이었다.
Magic resist gear easier to get?
Yeah,
unless you're a barbarian, in which case you don't have to worry about it, right?
One thing he just wanted to really make clear about, you know, the motivation for doing hotfix 69.
If it slows on hit, yeah. Well, it depends on how much, right?
And just kind of like putting everyone at the same item level and going through that and what we learned from that, and then and the reasoning behind
it's on a loop. Yeah, it's on a loop.
Undertook that change in the first place was like, so first of all, we did kind of diagnose
because Grayson and SDF are just like on the phone.
Is that
there's nothing to look at.
The minimum time commitment required to feel like hopeful and you could compete in the current system. It was too high for us, right? So even us that we want to be participating in the game, it was like, but we have the day job and
I would prefer it was just one stat reroll myself, honestly.
And we still always
I think it should be limited, otherwise it devalues good shit that people find,
because we think the target audience for this game is us, and we're not able to play the game and what's one of the main reasons that we're not able to play our own game or play well is that we want to put in the time and we feel like we're putting in the time, but the minimum required time is just still too high for us, right? And a lot of that had to do with that we kind of misdiagnosed that it was the item gap itself, but I think it's more of the random modifiers, and so that's why we're like, well, let's try to squeeze things, and so that was that journey to go through that, and for us that's why the solution that we came up with and that we're trying to find out is, so the first thing was like the extreme reaction was like, oh, let's just get rid of anything that's going to require a lot of time, right? And that's what Hotfix 69.
Map randomized with no portals. I don't think that would happen.
Violent.
I don't think we'd have that. If that happened, it would be a very bad developer error.
Hey, if you take away all of that commitment,
I think they're going to be everywhere because I think they still want new players to be able to get out if they want to, right?
For when you do gain,
and I don't think they're going to just change the modules that already had the stairs and shit to something else.
Okay, and so the time commitment is still.
And once you walk by like an exit or whatever, I think it'll just show up on the map, right?
The game is like now it's like
unfortunately it's not showing any like stairs on what was revealed here.
Hey, there's this drive and motivation.
But this is definitely like
it shouldn't require
a progression of like start through each like
right
bit as they move through.
You still want to cater to people who want to play the game all the time, but you definitely don't want it to be exclusive to the people who don't get to play 10 to 12 hours a day, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, okay,
oh yeah, good gems will cost a lot for sure.
Let's find a way where we could
think about how much easier it is to get a legendary longsword versus getting a royal gem of a specific color that you would need to change a stat, right?
When we start introducing
royals tend to be a little bit more rare.
Modifying the perks and skills going forward. Like,
so I think that they would be pretty pricey.
Weird, like edge cases always popping up because now we have things in a predictable range, and I think we're getting closer to that ever since
10K.
We learned from Hotfix 69, but at the same time is still make it feel like, oh, okay, loot is worthwhile, and I really want to still go and feel like, oh, okay, when I have all my well-earned BIS items, I feel that extra little bit of tension, or when I lose it, it's like, oh, I feel a little bit of that pang,
Right.
And yeah, and so we're just now trying to find that right amount of balance, right? And I think so. The item socket is one of the ways. Is like it was way, way, way too high for us, and so we need to start bringing it down a little bit. Turn that volume down a little bit, but switching that volume all the way down to
the gems act more like a reagent for an enchanting system, like you would see in Diablo. Is what it looks like.
The socketing system,
I think it should only be limited to one stat, though.
Kind of bridge the gap there, and it's not. To be clear, it's not a way to replace
a legendary weapon that
chase. Like
2 of the rolls are garbage.
Items is still, you're still.
I feel like you got to pick one and roll that. I don't think you should be able to roll everything.
And so I really appreciate you saying like, hey, this is our initial idea. We hope that this is a way that we could still honor that kind of chase.
Every time I want to use gear, I have to play a gem sorting menu simulator. What do you mean?
We are still gonna, if we feel like, hey, we're still the
I don't know what you mean.
high on one end, we might need to adjust.
It's a specific vendor that does it in the game,
or the balance of that.
There's like they're calling them like Goldsmith or something.
Itself right now, when like you've tried it on the test server, we've been messing around with it on the test server, and it feels like it is in
static attributes, magic resist gear.
Yeah, I could really see myself like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the the weighting of the stats, right? So
it's like I could have pretty darn
please acknowledge me and give me attention.
Good item gear on me.
Let me gamble until I get 5 max health and 2 vigor on everything. So, well, in this case, it's not really a gamble. You're picking the stat. You just have to use the gem to pay for it.
SDF in the chat who said that the next season, the arena will revert to minted gear being the only thing that you don't lose.
Okay, good. Wait, only minted?
Still allow people to take consumables in and not lose those, even if they're not minted, just because it's annoying to replace them so often. But the socket system now being a way to help craft your gear sort of deflates that like RMT paying out the butt for a full kit,
exactly.
So I know.
No, Crash. You're replacing stats on the items if you don't like the rolls on those items.
That's the reality.
So like if you get a sword that has buff duration on it, but you don't want it and you want 2 weapon damage instead, you can switch it out.
Sell the fact that
they're still gonna roll with stats. They're not gonna be empty.
The ability to go in with their own gear or like purchased gear at the end of the season was really a good way for everyone to get a chance to experience arena with high level kits. But going into the next season with minted gear being the only exception, or minted gear being the only gear that you could bring in, really helps to
replace 3 HP with 5 HP.
Gems.
So
a stop
they're talking about limiting the potential stats that you can get from the gems.
Find a triple on roll pair of life boots that
the best you might be able to get out of a gem is 3 health, but not 5, because you could still find Abyss piece of gear that would have 5, and that would incentivize you to go and find the shit on RNG rolls, and it still makes the market valuable if you have better pieces that you could buy there.
So you find a gear you like. It doesn't have it doesn't have the perfect rolls, or
no problem, Crash. You got it, brother.
All the rolls, but it's like, hey, I could just go to the marketplace, buy a couple gems, and now I have.
Can't even take not looted gear into arena.
Or 85% of the of what I want with the 4 exact rolls that I want.
Oh, they're just gonna block you from being able to bring anything that you didn't loot or make yourself from going into the arena altogether?
There is one more something huge.
Did they say that?
We have achievement system.
Now. Oh yeah, the achievement system.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's so good.
Yeah, we didn't mention that. If you guys want to talk about the achievement system, we kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
No, I don't think it was we forgot. It was more like at the very beginning, we didn't really have a plan to share it because we didn't want to spoil too much for the wipe. But yeah, the achievement system is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's achievement system. We have account-wide quests now. So you just need.
We're just throwing that.
The quests are going account-wide. Oh shit!
There you go, chat.
That's huge.
I mean, there's going to be challenges with the quest system, with the random dungeons, continuous.
Oh shit! Some people aren't going to be happy about that.
But even when random,
I don't know if I'm happy about that.
Certain modules you have to go to.
I think you should be able to be given a choice.
Even with the randomized, for modules you have to find in the crypt. Like we ran
no more exploiting quests. Like running it back for gold bags. I don't know, man. I didn't think that was bad.
We were able to get.
that was fine.
These are crypts. We have rules for it's not pure. Like, hey, let's just throw.
I didn't think that was that bad.
Any module,
thought it was bad.
Any combination. It's like you have to have exits. You have to have.
Bad for economy.
Sacrificial altars too. So there's
maybe
different weightings,
I guess it doesn't really matter either way. If you're good at the game, you're going to have plenty of gold storage at some point anyway. I don't know. I just looked at it like it was kind of nice to be able to quest that shit out. It was a good way for farmer type players to be able to make money. Without too much risk. It's whatever though.
Even
I guess.
Though there's a random element, it's like, hey, we're gonna skew it. So
He's saying it's bad for the economy because when you start spamming bags like that,
high
it
percentage modules.
It artificially inflates like
so these are things that there's going to be things that
like how much gold ends up being like circulated for people when they have
keep on,
an abundance of those, because the bags are worth like toward the end of the wipe they're worth like 6,000-7,000 gold each.
Overlooked, right? And so that's what we're planning to do.
Gold storage ends up being the thing that people want to pay out the nose for because you only have so much room.
Achievement system. This is again the start, but then I think I was surprised because
better than expected.
It'll just make the bags more valuable.
It was like, this is a start.
Troll pelt will become more expensive.
Our server engineers, like, he came to us. He's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get all of this.
Is PoE 2 early access worth it? Yes. Like, okay, PoE 2 is the best ARPG I've ever played.
Even if we get like,
and it's only and it's still like it's in EA. Like it's fucking crazy. It's so good, dude.
Like, okay, I'm gonna do my best. And then today he's like, oh, we're running out of time. It's like, I couldn't.
And I'm a Diablo 2 fanboy. I fucking love Diablo. Not so much 3 and definitely not so much 4. 4 had a great story, but after that, the end game was just dog shit.
To our repository right now, he's like, I wasn't.
3 was cool because it made you feel strong. You felt like an Avenger just mowing down people when you got like the set gear.
We're like, what?
But PoE 2 is fucking mint. It's so good, dude.
Only. Wow.
Only. Yeah.
They say Sork is going to scale similar to Druid.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It goes back to like there's a different category of type of people that we're trying to give satisfaction. So the last one we left out right now is the socializers. And
Diablo 4 is dog shit in comparison to PoE 2, man. PoE 2 is fucking amazing.
Gaping hole for that, and so unfortunately we don't have any.
Blizzard wishes it could have made PoE 2. They got no shot.
Just wipe, but I think because of that, there's
PoE 1 plays a lot like Diablo 2.
To say like, okay,
PoE 2 is like
really working,
just fucking good.
Or start thinking about how we could.
It's like a love letter to Miyazaki, man. It's a mix between like
make a feature
pure ARPG and
to start people on that end can start
like Dark Souls. It's good.
Right, to start giving the more social players. I mean, one of the biggest strengths of Dark and Darker in the playtests was when VoIP got added.
They're talking about the creation of social spaces,
interactions of people just exploring the dungeon together. Quick shout out to folks in the community who've done some really fun things, like having their own shop set up.
Ultimo, I'll go back over it. I got a whole thing of notes. Like
Tiny Shop was one of my favorite.
I got a whole thing of notes.
We were all very sad to see that go, but it was an unfortunate thing that had to get fixed. But yeah, the social aspect of this game is a huge part of it, and I think people who want more of that will be very happy to hear that is.
PoE 2 entry level. Do you have to have ARPG knowledge?
Yeah. But
you don't have to have ARPG knowledge.
So
PoE 2 is not.
Now for reals, I'm running out.
It's like not easy.
All right, so we'll cut you guys.
But the beauty of the game is like.
You don't want to ruin Christmas.
You can build literally fucking anything that you want.
Too many presents.
There is millions of combinations of shit that you can put together in that game.
Get you sleep. We really appreciate you guys.
Like millions. It's so good, dude.
FYI, in the future episodes,
it's got a learning curve. Don't get me wrong.
Have them on, and potentially even other.
Just play standard dialogue. You'll get there.
For the first episode, we were kind of keeping it a little low key. So again.
So far, I would say it's less complex than PoE 1.
Really appreciate
That's only because they don't have all the league mechanics and shit,
we'll cut
though.
You loose. Any closing comments before you go?
Thank you, players. Always.
Jim's gonna make Nat perfect roll stuff for crazy money. Oh, absolutely.
You guys.
But it also it does that, but it also allows people that use the gems to get more preferential stats. A shot at feeling competitive.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We have on the 17th we have our.
Because if you rolled 5 HP on every piece of gear that could have a hit point roll on it, that's obviously better than rolling 3 HP on everything. But if you put 3 HP on everything, you still got a shot, right?
I try to do my best.
So
hold the line, boys.
It makes it all worth it.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, that kind of moral support was just it's indescribable. So yes.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, guys, for coming on. We'll let you go, and we're looking forward to the next.
Yeah, quests are going account wide.
In the meantime, we do have 2 more announcements.
Oh hell yeah, Light Show! Thank you, bro.
A couple of exciting things actually we'll share real quick, and I apologize that we were just kind of looping the clips that we had here because I didn't have time to set up an overlay for them to join us on Discord. So this was just sort of an impromptu. So we're gonna cut over to another special announcement that our community team has been working on, and we'll load up a little clip for you guys to see here.
All right, I'm gonna head out, but good night, everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, bye.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, it's just Grayson and I. Let's take a quick look. I think I hear a little something.
All right, so winter theme shit in the store. Is this the tavern? Oh no, they.
Who's that mysterious figure?
What day was that?
That was the barracks.
What day was that? I don't know. There seems to be a dagger in the board there. I think something might have gotten updated on the Discord. I don't know. I don't know too much about this, but maybe
13th.
You want to talk to me about what's going on here?
Yeah. So actually, let's start off with, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our community supporters, such as the Warden team, the Night team, the Scribes. You guys do so much heavy lifting.
That would be today.
We appreciate it so much. And honestly, all those areas would be impossible without you guys. So thank you all very much, especially to the Warden team who's been there since the very beginning. Thank you.
Are they teasing another fucking ARG?
And congratulations to all the new Tavern Masters that will be changing over this weekend. It's going to be awesome. But moving into that, the community team at Ironmace has been hard at work, and you guys are about to see it. I will just go ahead and do this little hype up. It is the biggest event we have ever done for the community at Dark and Darker.
So winter themed dungeon, maybe?
So awesome. We got a lot of your feedback from the last recent Halloween event, and
so it's going to be another ARG.
All that feedback to create what I would call a masterpiece for the community. The community team members have been working so hard.
That's a lot of hype, dude.
The next few weeks really, really awesome.
Alternate reality game.
You guys, I'm not overhyping.
They're gonna
participate in.
It's gonna be like a fucking treasure hunt inside and outside of the game.
You all win or you all lose.
Ooh.
But
oh shit!
Setting the stakes really high.
It's worth it.
Setting the stakes very high. Did you hear that, guys? Everybody wins.
It's like when loses. That means it's like when there was a code underneath a park bench in New York City that we found. Remember
what you guys end up doing with this? And
when they announced the troll boss?
To the community team has been
working on this. We were. And I looked at it and went that Central Park, and then found the fucking photo, and then found a community member that lived in New York and told him to go look around the benches.
A really special thing.
And there was a fucking QR code like pasted or taped underneath the park bench in there.
The community sort of uncovered as we go along.
That's an ARG.
Yeah, keep an eye on the Discord.
Huge shout out to Festive and Chunkus for making this happen.
Yeah, keep an eye out on the Discord because there will be updates regarding roles and channels for people to get involved in the event, and we will need everybody's help to make this happen as a community. So don't skip out. Make sure you lend a hand because we're gonna need all your brains.
I think the Sorcerer channel just popped up in the Discord too earlier.
Ooh, I had a wipe. Everybody want to get a little chit chat going on in there?
There's a fucking Sorcerer channel now.
Everything we had to show you guys for now. We appreciate you all for tuning in. There's one final announcement I'd like to give, and that is for our content creators. We're announcing the launch of Lurk It as a platform for our content creators. Now, previously we were using just Google
they're gonna do Lurk It
Discord
shit.
channels to manage everybody, and there wasn't a lot of robust metric counting, and there weren't really ways for us to do announcements or run any cool campaigns or anything like that. Missions, fun things for creators to do. So Lurk It will be the new home for our creators. There will be a link posted in the Discord later once the page is published, and everybody can sign up over there. Even if you are currently a content creator, make sure you go ahead and sign up over there so we can get you ingested into the creator program on that side, and look forward to more stuff happening with that in the future. But that is it for us for the Tavern Table, the first episode. Thank you, adventurers, for joining us. This was a very fun time, and we look forward to doing more of these. Thank you, Grayson. Appreciate your time. Anything you want to say?
I just want to let you know, man, you did a really, really great job carrying this first pilot episode of the Tavern Table. You know, it's been a really long week, it started at 3 a.m. So I lost my train of thought several times, and you were able to pick it up and just keep going with it. Dude, you did really, really awesome. I'm really glad how you ran this.
I appreciate that. Part of never shutting up is that, you know, I've always got something to say, so I'm here to pick it up when people are tired. So I really, again, thank you guys for showing up, and shout out to Terry and SCF for being here so late on a Saturday morning.
I think that's just the Santa vendor coming in.
4 a.m. for you guys.
Because like there's
so without
Saint Nicholas or whatever is
for sure.
like the Christmas vendor with the candy canes and gingerbread men and shit.
Thank you again to our community members and our players. We really appreciate you guys, and we're really looking forward to a new wipe. Keep an eye out for the Lurkin announcement for creators who are interested in signing up for the program, and for the roles being updated in the Discord for the Christmas event.
What class am I playing PoE 2?
Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Monk.
Take care.
I've been tearing it up as a monk.
See you all.
All right, that's it. That's it. GG. Wow, they didn't even raid anyone? That's fucked up. Odin, god damn it. Odin. I just DM'd Odin. I was like, bro, next time raid somebody in the Dark and Darker like category. What are you doing? You got 2,700 viewers. Send them to somebody. Shit. Come on now. Pick a 30 viewer streamer and send them some love. Shit. Come on, brother. Send them to Sparky. Sparky ain't a 30 viewer streamer though. Can we get a recap? Yeah. Okay. So I took notes. So Tavern Table, they named that. That's the Devcast name, hosted by Odin and Grayson. They showed a gem system goldsmith vendor. So socket system with gems. The way that it works is you get your random fucking sword or a chest piece or a pair of boots or whatever, and they have some shitty roll on them that you don't want, like I don't know, fucking buff duration, but you don't care about buff duration for whatever build you're making. So if you want to get rid of buff duration, you click on it, and then it will give you a list of all the stats that item could have instead. And then they'll be color coded. Depending on the rarity of the item, like if the item's blue, then you need blue quality gems. You need a gem that matches the color of whatever you're trying to re-roll it to, and then it re-rolls to that stat. Plus, I don't know, it looked like 100 gold was the cost. But they mentioned that it's likely that the stats that you will roll into with the gem will be limited. So, like, if you wanted to get 5 HP on an item... What up, Richard? Hell yeah, dude. Maybe. If you want to get, like, 5 HP on that sword, let's say... you won't be able to get 5 HP from the gem system. You might be able to get 3. You can still get plus health, but you're not going to get maximum potential plus health that you would get like off of a randomly found piece of loot. Which means that, like, you know, RNG found abyss is still going to have its place. Will obviously be still like more valuable, way more valuable. But it creates a secondary market for the gem system, and you could still put plus health on all of your gear as long as you had the gems to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it gives you like the ability to take something that is like mid and make it obviously better so that you're more competitive, so that you can kind of sort of keep up with everybody else, right? Which I don't think that's a bad thing. Now they did say it was rumored that it would be like capped off. They haven't like actually decided that that's what's going to happen. And right now you can roll multiple stats, like re-roll multiple stats. Personally, I feel like they shouldn't do that. I feel like you should only be able to roll one. Like, you should pick one stat and be able to re-roll that one stat. And okay, fine. Right? Like, you make a better piece of gear. So that way, like, you got something that's close to good, and then you can make it better, like, make it good, as opposed to having something that's, like, complete dog shit, and then just re-roll stats on it because you had gems. And, like, make a dog shit pair of boots, like, suddenly, like, good. And I don't know, I think that's weird. Because then everybody will just have that, right? They didn't clarify the demigod reward. They didn't. They said that they weren't going to. They said that you would see it when the patch went live. That's what they told me when I did the dev podcast with them 2 weeks ago. Seven ads. Unfortunate. Got to pay the bills, I guess. Then you have the randomized dungeon, right? Fog of War system. They showed images of like the Fog of War. It looks like it's a small radius around like your character as you move through the map. It like gets shown as you're walking around. They have when I talked to them 2 weeks ago, they said that they had about 50 modules that were done for crypts. So right now it's going to be crypts only. But they had 50 or so modules done for crypts, of which 16 per like round map instance or whatever would be chosen, because right now they said it was going to be 4x4. But eventually they want to make it like fully random, like random size and shape. He was talking with Odin about making a dungeon that was like circular in shape, like with the grid. So I don't know when or where we're going to see that, but that's what they're gunning for. Yeah, they said that the demigod reward was a nameplate, but they didn't say like how it was going to show up in the UI or anything. Right? They didn't say like where it was going to be. But we'll see what it looks like when it happens, you know. It's fine. 16x1, yeah, maybe. Crypts will now be a 4x4. That's right. Yeah. As of 2 weeks ago, they said Crypts was going to be a 4x4. That's what they were playing with. They could, but again, like the wipe is in 5 days, so they could change their mind on that even between now and then. I have no idea. But that's what they said before, was it was going to be 4x4. The exemplar reward is an animation for like sitting down at a campfire. You like pull out your backpack. Can we see your notes? I mean, they're right here. Yeah. I'm going through them. All right. Then they talked about Sorcerer. Grayson said that it plays nothing like Wizard. You're going from Wizard to Sorc, he said, was very tricky. Spells are very different. Sorcerer's mechanic is a cooldown mechanic rather than having spell charges. So you cast a spell and it goes on cooldown. But we don't know what the cooldowns are, how long they are, or, you know, whatever. And I'm guessing it's going to be heavily tied to resourcefulness. It looked like animation-wise, when they were winding up for casts, that the movement speed that they were losing wasn't really all that much. So it's possible there's a perk that keeps movement speed going like while you're casting in the animation, or maybe they like buffed movement speed a little bit for casters, but they took away the bunny hop. We don't really know if that's going to be a thing or not. But in the video, it looked like the Sorc was moving a little bit quicker. They're barehanded casters. They don't use casting focuses at all. Although like they did say before that you'd be able to hold caster items as a sorcerer, you'd be able to hold them. But it sounded like you'd be using them to like hit people with them as opposed to like holding them. So anyway, it looked like stuff was kind of like a spell dump. And then like the way that it looked was, yeah, you could like combine a bunch of spells together and like chain stuff. But then once everything's on cooldown, or like, you know, you don't really have anything to like go back to, then you're kind of like you blew your load, and then you gotta wait for it to come back. You know, guys know what that shit's like, right? But they showed a bunch of spell previews. So there was like a couple of fire spells. One was like a meteor. It was like this slow moving like fireball, and then when it hit a skeleton, it blew up. There was like a fire like pulse attack. It was like pew pew pew. It was like 3 fire bolts that fired off. Like you released the spell and it like went bang bang bang, even though like you were moving in whatever direction. So it was like a free fire like triple shot burst. Well, unlike magic missile where you had to stand still and channel it. Refractory period. That's it. That's what we're going with. You burn all your spells off, and then you have the refractory period. Exactly right. So, and then then on Crypts, Lich is on Crypts now. Lich is going to be the Crypts level boss, like everybody has been requesting for like 2 or 3 fucking years, even though the game hasn't been around for 3 years. Everybody's wanted a boss to be on Crypts, and they even said like in podcasts way back when I talked to them originally that they had originally intended for the Lich to be the boss for Crypts. And then they finally got around to doing it, which I think is awesome. It gives Crypts a purpose other than just being like an intermediary level to like grab some loot before you got to Inferno to fight the cool bosses, you know? So I dig that. They also said that the constant like dungeon is going to be a thing where it's not only randomized, but you'll be able to like move through levels at will. So with the Fog of War, you don't know where the red stairs are going to be, so that's going to make you have to search for it. You don't know where the blue stairs are going to be either, so you have to search for it. But assuming that you can find them quickly, you can go downstairs like basically right away. That also is bringing in like an infill system where like once the round has started, people will be able to spawn into the map instance like after it's begun. We don't know how far into the map instance you'll be able to spawn in yet. I'm hoping that it's capped off at like 3 minutes, because I feel like after a couple, like 2 or 3 minutes, like the loot is grabbed. If it's like 5, 6, 7 minutes, I feel like it's going to end up being shit. So like there's that, you know, especially considering that everybody is going to end up starting off on Ruins anyway, and you're going to have to move through it. So like Ruins isn't going to have any Fog of War, and it's not randomized. It's only crypts. So people are going to be like booking it past Ruins to get to crypts like crazy. Might actually end up being some halfway decent farm at the start to stay on Ruins and like get some easy boss content. You might get some pretty easy loot because I think everybody's going to be bum rushing the crypts instance. So there's that piece, I guess. Lich crypts mean you have to find the damn boss. I'm going to assume that it's in the middle, but versus like you don't know where you are in proximity to like where the center of the map is either, though. So there's that piece too, right? And I don't know if the Lich spawns on that map every time that the map spawns either. It could be his module is just like a high percentage chance to be on there, but it's not going to be every time. So you end up looking for him and he's just not on the map. We don't know. So anyway, back to Sork. There was like a water spell when he ran into the Lich room. He fired off like a water orb that was like this like slow moving like floating water orb. I have no idea what the purpose of that thing was. It didn't look like it did anything. It kind of just like hovered there. So and then there was a wind spell that did like a pushback or knockback. It was like a wind blast that like knocked an archer skeleton backward, which I thought was dope. There was an earth spell where they cast a stone golem, and the stone golem came up and like he took like half a step, but it was also like throwing like boulders at shit, which was kind of cool. And then there was an ice spell where he enchanted his falchion, so it looked like sorcerers can use falchions. He enchanted the falchion with an ice like enchant and was like, I guess, doing like a frost proc on the zombie that he was swinging on. And then that same zombie, before he pulled out the falchion, there was a frost. There was like like you had the ability to combine elemental like spells. So he combined fire and frost together, and then like hucked it at a zombie, and it gave him like a frost like slow and hit him with like a fire blast in the face, which I thought was pretty sweet. And then when he fought the Lich, like at the very end, he combined like earth and fire and then made a firewall, which I thought was also really fucking cool. And then there was obviously like, I think it was an earth spell where he made like that pillar, like popped up out of the ground and used it as like a jump pad and like went up onto a higher level, which was kind of cool. I think that was an earth spell. I don't think it was a wind spell. Launched dude in the air. And I think that was everything, right? ARG started. Oh yeah, they didn't announce. Community announcement. Nicholas needs your help. Yeah, so there's this video too. Hold on one second. Yeah, it was like a ball of water. Like you could hear it. Like when he casted it, it was like bloop. Like you could hear it like make like the little like watery bubbly sound. I don't think it was an ice ball. But either way, like obviously they're tapping into like fire, air, earth, water. You know, you're like running around like you're the Avatar or some shit. Yeah, I don't think it was a magic sword. I think he just enchanted himself with ice. Because if you notice, like, when he was barehanded opening the door, like, it's hard, I obviously don't have the, like, I have the recording, but I can't just, like, pull the file up because we don't have the files. I asked Grayson and Odin if I could get the files, but they haven't responded yet. But, like, when he was opening the door, you could see, like, little, like, icy, like, frost flakes coming off of his hand. Like, while he was opening the door up, you could see, like, little puffs of, like, icy air, you know? So I think he just enchanted himself. Yeah, it's like Ignite but cold, right? You clip the Sork. Seems like a better wizard spell. I mean, it's got the slow effect on it, right? But obviously doesn't have like the fiery dot or anything. And it also it may not add damage. We don't know. Like we'll have to check. It could just be like it procs slower movement and maybe slower attack speed. And it obviously would depend on how much, whether or not it builds up over multiple hits, whether or not the Sork can even use like faster hitting weapons. Like, are they allowed to use daggers? Because the only weapon we know of right now that they're capable of using is literally the falchion, because that's the only thing that we saw. So other than that, we have no idea. Yeah, action speed and MS like Viola. Possibly, but like again, we don't know. Maybe it's like some weaker form of Viola. Oh, here's the clip of all things Sork. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, so there's like a little like there's like he casts this and it like free floats in the air like it while it's coming out of his hand, but he's like moving away. Like he's maintaining motion like while he fires it. Right? So it's not channeled, it just kind of goes 1, 2, 3. And then what was this? Was this? Yeah, it's an earth spell. So it's an earth pillar that came up out of the ground and like shot him up off the floor like a jump pad. And then he did here's the Frostfire. Right? And you can see like he had a slowing effect on his legs. Actually, it looked like water and fire that he chalked up. Yeah, that isn't even ice. That's water. That's a water spell. So we have earth, fire, water, air, and ice. Like ice is separate. Because that was like a watery ball. Right? And that is not water. Like, obviously, that's crystallized. And there's your earth golem. Yeah, see, like, that looks like a metal falchion to me, and it's just got, like, ice floating around the pommel, and it added, a frosty effect to the weapon. Obviously, we don't know whether or not it does damage. Maybe like the water spell like debuffs the magic resist of shit. Maybe that's what it does? Like it gave him like a magic resist debuff? Because we don't really have anything that debuffs magic resist, right? Like it's like shrill debuffs armor, right? Yeah. So the ice effect, I mean, I'm sure the ice effect has a movement slow. We don't know if it's an attack speed slow. It probably is. But we don't know if the ice effect adds any damage to it or not. It could just be like the slow is enough. But you can see like right here, all right? So see like how he's got like his hands are away, but he's still got like these icy little poofs. Like there's one there, like coming off of his hands. There was one right there for like a frame. Right there, you can see it, but he's moving forward, so like the little icy trail is like going behind him as he's moving forward. There's another one. So I think that's just the effect of him having enchanted his own, like himself. We don't need magic resist debuffs. Magic resist gear is already garbage without static attributes. Are you sure? I don't know what you can build for like max MR. I feel like you can get pretty high magic resist without too much trouble. I know like plate wearers tend to have less magic resist because you don't really get that unless you go like dark plate or something. I mean, everybody caps off at 65% unless you're a barb. Well, Barbs can get the extra 10% because of Iron Will. They can go to 75. Some play gives negative MR. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What is this room? This is Lich's boss room. They added Lich to Crypts. So that was one of the other big pieces. Okay, and then they showed us map preview screenshots. Swimming is going to be a mechanic in the game. We know that. They said that already. There's even a swimming animation in the game files, but nothing's been implemented yet, obviously. We were trying to guess like what the underwater map theme was going to be, if it was going to be like Atlantis kind of shit or like a sunken temple, but it actually looks like it's like a coastal shipwreck. 90% of the map they said was going to be underwater, but it looked like very like shipwreck pirate themed, which was kind of dope. It looked really cool. It looked really cool. Well, it would be Ghost King or Warlord would be in Inferno. Yeah. Bosses are in Crypts, not just Lich. Oh, well, maybe you can random roll all 3 on this map and then all 3 in Inferno too. I have no idea. We'll find out. That'd be cool. But he said, like later on in the podcast, he said Lich was on Crypts. But if he said bosses, then maybe it's more than one. Do you think these changes will actually cause Dad to be not be as well dead? Well, first, I don't look at a game like Dark and Darker as being dead. I look at it as it runs in cycles, just like every other like indie project live service game that we've been playing that's under development, like Tarkov and shit. Where like when the wipe happens, you get like this huge influx of players, and then you run like 40 to 50k concurrent, and then over the next 3 months it dies off. Like right now, there ain't anybody playing fucking Tarkov. Tarkov's dead, right? But as soon as the wipe happens, everybody's gonna fly into it, you know. And it's not like Dark and Darker has any competition, because every game that's come along that tried to be competitive with it has all fucking died. So they're like the only game in town for this type of game, you know. So I don't know. Maybe it dies. Maybe there just isn't a market for it. I have no idea, but I'm still here for it, man. I love this game. Discord roll for the quest is out. All right. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, Cycle Frontier, same shit, right? And it's the same story for Tarkov too, man. I mean, you look at Tark, there isn't any real competitor for Tarkov at all. Like people try to say that like Arena Breakout or like Delta Force are gonna fucking do it. Cycle Frontier was supposed to have tried to do it. Cycle Frontier closed up shop. Call of Duty tried to make an extraction mode for their fucking BR map. That shit failed miserably. Battlefield tried to do it with their fucking extraction game mode. That shit failed miserably. You know, like no one seemed to have been able to like figure out the secret sauce in a way that's like maintain any amount of competitiveness at all. So maybe somebody comes along, like Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery is the best shot that we have at being at a competitive game that would maybe kind of sort of do it. But that game is different enough to where like you can see the differences to where it would appeal to like different audiences. It actually might be able to carry a bit. And I like the devs. The devs are good dudes. But anything else that's come along that's tried to like, you know, more or less clone this game has failed. Like bad. Like Dungeonborn hasn't had an update in its Discord in almost 3 months. You know, like literally almost 3 months. The last entry they made was like September 30th. Hellhammer doesn't respond to DMs. He used to respond to every DM I used to send him. He doesn't say shit to me anymore. I tried to reach out to him. He still hasn't answered me. I don't think he's going to. And last I checked, they had 277 concurrent players. So, like, Dungeonborn's fucking dead. Mistfall Hunter could be. Yeah, maybe Mistfall Hunter comes along. That game looked cool. But again, like, they have to do something that's going to end up being, you know, it's got to have something. If it doesn't have a thing, then, you know. Yeah, they said... from what I saw, they are still like trying to push the game in China, and they're modifying the game because Chinese clients can only have certain amounts of and certain types of violence. Like the trailer for Dungeonborn in China started 14 seconds into the trailer because they couldn't show like all the death and gore and shit that they showed like in the American version. Like it's a different market, but I guess like they're just pursuing China. Has SDF shown his face before? He did, yeah. Like they set up a camera one time when he was like talking to Jay, and I don't know, like 2-3 months ago. Doing anything in Wizard possibly next patch. I feel like Sorcerer's so modern, literal Skyrim casting. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do anything with Wizard, but like, I don't think Wizard's dead either though, because they're two very, very different classes, right? Like Wizard has all these spell charges. Not for nothing, on constant casting, Wizard is going to last longer in a fight than a Sorcerer will. Just because they have, like, if you're running Overload on a Wizard, you know how long it takes in a fucking firefight to burn through all of those fucking spells? It's going to take a minute. Especially when you got like 16 like spell count charges of magic missile. Like, it's going to take a minute to like burn through all that shit. I think Sorcerer like blows their load a lot faster than Wizard does. They've got utility, but they've got utility for like this much time. And then you're like, oh fuck, now I gotta run. You know, so like if you don't get the job done, I think you're in trouble. They said that they didn't say that they were giving more spells to Wizard. They said that they want to, but they're trying to focus on like getting the Sorcerer made first. And it's the same thing with Druid. Like they want to add more forms to Druid, but they want to get the Sorcerer made first. And the Wizard is outdated. I mean, it's one of the original classes, right? You know? 100% it's outdated. I think they definitely need to do like some reworking of it. They said that they knew that there was something with the class that they had to do. That's just like, you know, they wanted to get like this shit in because, you know, the game needed content, right? And to like change how Wizard was going to go. If they spent like, consider how the player base would have looked at it, right? You would have had like a bunch of people that played Wizard going like, fuck yeah, okay, cool. Like they redid Wizard. Like Wizard looks awesome. What else did you do? And they're just like, well, we redid Wizard. And then everybody goes, what? Yeah, we redid Wizard. Like that's what we did. You guys wanted us to, that's what we did. So here's your wipe. Like no one would have fucking played that video game. You would have had like the 30 Wizard mains like rejoicing, and then everybody else is like, what fucking else did you do? You know? So I think everybody that plays every class would like to see like more options, you know? And hopefully they get to that shit soon. Yeah, I don't know what they meant there, Butter. But they said minted ear they said minted gear. I said minted ear. Minted gear only for Arena. I don't know if that meant that it was safe or like you could only bring minted gear to Arena, or if like that's the only gear that won't be lost like it was originally. But they did say they were going back to. And they've never made it to where you could only go into Arena with minted gear only. They had made it, like recently they made it so that you couldn't lose gear at all, whether it was purchased off the market or otherwise. So if they're saying going back to, I think they're just going back to the original system where it was like, if it has your character's name on it, then it won't be lost. But obviously we'll see in the first weekend when they open it up. Can you give gold? My nickname is Tomagoma12. There you go, chat. Tomagoma12 would like to have you give him gold. He's standing on a street corner with his hat in his hand, begging for change. Need a bigger holy boy than cleric. Paladin would be amazing. I would like to see a paladin. I think that would be cool. Speaking of paladins, did you guys watch any of the secret level episodes? Did you see the Dungeons and Dragons one? God, that fucking show. That episode cooked like hell. That was so fucking cool. First message from that dude begging for cash. I love it. It was so good, dude. That secret level episode was awesome. I haven't gotten to the Warhammer 40k one, but I'm like getting goosebumps. I want to watch it so bad. I saw like the first 4. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Warlock has a summon already. Warlock needs more projectile spells. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see like a Warlock or like an Eldritch Knight or something get like Eldritch Blast. That would be cool. But that should be hit scan as fuck. You know? Okay. Where were we? Map infills we talked about already. Oh yeah, they said that they were going to add an achievement system. There will be achievements, but they don't want to spoil what they are. So when the game wipes, there's going to be achievements to earn. Like again, we don't know what they are or how you would get them, but you know, there's going to be a lot of completionists, myself included, that's going to try and get all the achievements done. They're making quests account wide, which is an interesting change because that means that you won't be able to like roll an alt and then have it quest for like a coin bag or something like you used to be able to do. So once the quests are done, they're done for all of your characters. So that's an interesting change. I think that kind of like makes the like the XP gain from doing those quests kind of gets shot in the foot though. Like if you're gonna roll an alt, the only way you're getting XP is by like running the dungeon and killing shit. You don't get like the XP boosts. You only get that on the whoever does the quest, right? But it's all right. I mean, certain quests are obviously easier to do for certain classes than others. You know. Shit, I'd be lying if I said like, you know, being able to like run a rogue for like certain loot tasks or something would have been awful nice if I had been able to just switch classes and go run it on that guy. If they make it so you can get 6 perks at the same time for a single class, 6 perks? Jesus Christ. You really want Barbarian to just be unkillable, don't you? And just be able to like murder everything with 2-handers. Yeah, I need to kill the Lich. I'll get on my Warlock and go like kill the Lich. He's easy. You know? Oh, I got to get a Wyvern kill? All right, let me go run my Drunk Bard. Oracle. It'll make everyone strong. Certain classes scale differently than others. You know? Like, what are you going to do with 2 extra perks on a Bard? So you're gonna run 10 song, and then what? You get like a couple of points extra weapon damage? Like for rapier mastery? Like, and you get to chug beers? Versus like Barbarian being able to have like stupid damage perks? Always, dude, it would be 100% uptime on Jolly Time for sure. Nah, I think it's a little overkill, man. I like that everybody is limited into what choices they have to take. You know, it makes weaknesses in people. It's kind of the idea. All right, yeah. So quests are going to count wide, and then there was the Christmas event. They kind of tease it like a winter themed dungeon. But it looks like there's an ARG coming. So there's this that played. So there's a calendar with December 13th, right, which is today. If that even reads right. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think those are in order. 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah. So it's got December 13th. And then there's this boy. And he's looking up at the sky. And then Santa comes walking in with his boots. And then so they posted that video in the Discord and said, Nicholas needs your help. And then there's a channel that says no access, but it's like before, if you end up reacting to the Winterlight thing, I think it gives you another channel. Right? Wherever the hell it is. Hallows Eve chat. So there was Hallows Eve chat. So where's the other chat? Where's the Christmas one? Is it not showing yet? Go up. Oh, is it on channels and roles? All right, hold on. Oh, yeah. So you go to channels and roles, and it's just named help. You click on that, and now you are in help. Oh, it's good. Help. Project Winterlight. There you go. Project Winterlight. Project Winterlight announcements. So it looks like we have a new ARG. Nicholas left me some shredded scraps. What did he mean by this? So there's a puzzle to put together. There you go. Traveled here to bring you all a special gift to warm your hearts, but I've hit a bit of a snag to keep this precious cargo safe on my journey here. I contain within a vessel which can only be opened with a very specific incantation. The winter winds blew away the very notes and schematics. Trying to remember the phrase, all that came to me were some scraps of knowledge. Keep searching for answers. You see what you can do with these notes. Don't worry about what I've stuck them to. You'll have to work together on this one. There's no other way to get this gift into your hands. Either you all get it or none of you do. Best of luck. So it looks like there will be a community-wide reward for completing whatever this ARG leads through, however long it takes, as long as we solve it. There's a link in chat for the solved puzzle. I was going to say that wouldn't have taken very long to put together. It's not this, right? No, Goblin Bola Slinger. Somebody put a Spotify link in. Oh, it's in fan art? Damn. Some crazy drawings. All right, here you go. Winter's Blessing. Well, they really didn't take their time putting that thing together really well, did they? Holy God. like, dude. They absolutely murdered this jigsaw. It's rustic. Yeah, Winter's Blessing. There's a key on a bag. There's a key on a bag, and it looks like there's a cave, Goblin Cave. Goblin Cave key. Key on a bag with an arrow pointing this way. Pointing toward his beehole. I feel like somebody needs to take more time and really, really fit those pieces together really well. Because if it isn't fit together really, really cleanly, there could be something missing. You know? Secret tunnel. I like that there's a pickaxe in the wall. It says Winter's Blessing. Like, dude, this is so butchered. Like, there's clearly stuff missing. You know what I mean? Like, there's parts of the puzzle that are missing, and I feel like it needs to be put together like really cleanly so that you could see like what the missing stuff is my guess. Hunt down a loot goblin. It would be cool if they added loot goblins. Somebody drew Skinny Pete. Why does the lizard man have Goku hair? That's amazing. Working on it now. Hell yeah, demo. That a better one in cleric chat? Pete is definitely him. This is probably Pete and I like IRL. I wouldn't doubt it. He probably has that exact haircut. Pete ate him. I don't believe it. Wait, somebody's making goblin caves in Minecraft? Oh my god. I gotta check out the fan art section more often. This is amazing. Somebody's making the goblin cave in Minecraft. Holy Christ. That's fantastic. Really excited to main Sork? Hell yeah, dude. I want to play Arena. Could you give me some money for the set? You want to play Arena? You don't need money for Arena. Just go pick up random pieces of gear and go run it. You know what you need money for? In Cleric, there's a better puzzle solved. Oh, there's a better image. That's the same image. Oh, no. Somebody put that one together pretty good. That one's a little cleaner. This one's a little cleaner. But see what I mean? Something's off. Right? Like there's a section that's missing. Is there a link for the full vid? No upload on their channel. Only if you went back in the... There's a YouTube VOD up right now. You could go back and look at. Although it's probably silent. Actually, come to think of it. No, it wouldn't be silent because I was we were looking at it on the game rig. No, there's going to be sound on the VOD. Sorry. For my own cast, I have to change the feed. All right, this looks a little better. That looks a little better. That's pretty clean. Yeah, nothing missing. Nothing missing. That looks pretty good. Dude, I love that there's a bug skewered at the top of like the tree, and the tree is like a spine with ribs sharpened to a point. That's good. This looks like the inside of the treasure cave on Ruins. With like with the switch door that the Skelly Mage is inside of with the two archers. Yeah, and Winter's Odd. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a little bit like separated. But it doesn't look like anything's missing. I think this is just a teaser image. I don't think that there's necessarily anything in here to find. Who knows, though? Maybe I'm wrong. Usually, like, the way that they've done these in the past, it's like, it looks, like, pretty innocuous, and then, like, next week, or, like, in a couple of days or whatever, they're gonna, like, put out another clue, hint, teaser, whatever. And then it'll make sense. "12 Days of Christmas." Ruins top left where the harpy is. Oh, you think it's up there? Oh, the underwater cave? I was thinking it looked more like the one in that wooded area with like the switch that's on the rock. You know, it opens up like that little boulder door or whatever, and there's a Skelly Mage and the two archers inside. I don't know what the hell that was. They confirm any new weapons or gear. They didn't say anything about weapons or gear. They just talked about like the major points. Let's see if there was anything else. The Dark and Darker ARG looks like it started, and then Arena, yeah, going back to minute stuff, and then Christmas event. I don't know if the dungeon's going to be winter themed or not. Maybe it is. Maybe they add like some Christmas shit to like certain map stuff. Wipe is still on the 18th, right? I have no idea what you're talking about, Hart. New map is the ruined ice cavern. I think it's a whole new biome. I don't even think it's going to be like, I don't even think it's going to be like leading into ice cavern at all. I think it's just going to be a new biome. All the skeletons of the barracks are going to be sitting at the table eating. Is it possible to rewatch the recast? Yeah, if you go over to YouTube, you can check the VOD. I started the VOD recording like right when the podcast began and they started talking about shit. Yeah, they said that the new map was going to be 90% water. And they were going to give us swimming and shit. But we'll see what it ends up doing, you know? Swimming melee sounds atrocious. It depends on how they code it, you know? If they don't end up fucking us over and like make it like how it would actually be if you're trying to like swing a sword underwater and they like just actually, you know, you're swimming around but you have the ability to like attack like normal, it'll probably be fine. But it's going to be weird like holding a crouch key to like, because then you're adding like 2 more axes of movement, right? Like you got up down. So you're like holding down spacebar to like float up and like slash at somebody and like like swim down to like get away from the dude. Hard home. Make sense or shut the fuck up. Okay? Stop trolling. It's tiring. Heard the Dungeon Expressman might be leaving with the new wipe. Did they say if that's happening? They did. There's not going to be an Expressman after the wipe. Because the dungeons are going to be able to get moved between as soon as the dungeon starts. So, like, when you go to, like, the next floor, it's just going to put you in a queue to, like, enter into, like, the next dungeon level. So there's not going to be any Expressman in between. I guess. There's no air bar. You can already go into water. Yeah, but you're already but you're walking around. And they also said that when they add swimming to that map, like if we have a swimming mechanic, then they're going to put swimming in all the other maps too. They're going to make it retro to like all the other maps. It still ruins Crypt's Inferno, yeah. It still ruins Crypt's Inferno, but the like I said, the doors will be open like almost like right away at the start. So you'll be able to go to Crypt's like within the first like couple of minutes instead of having to wait 12. And then what it sounds like is as one group or one player or whatever leaves, they'll spawn another one in that's like waiting in queue. Up to a certain number of minutes. And we don't know what those like number of minutes are. It could be 3, it could be 5. Hopefully it's closer to 3 and not 5. Because I feel like by 5 minutes into ruins, like any of the halfway decent loot spots that you were really trying to get to are going to get picked. Looks like hopefully they went to more PvE experience instead of PvP. So like what they're basically saying is, and what they've said before, is they're trying to make it so that if you're a new player, you have the ability to like get out of the dungeon if you want to get like let's say you're a newer player and you just want to like see if you can grab a couple of pieces of loot to like make some cash and like get the fuck out. Because all the doors are opening like almost like right away, you could go into ruins, like grab a couple of pieces of loot, go like, all right, I'm gonna get the fuck out, and then the door will be open like already, so you could just leave. Is kind of how they put it. So like if a newer player wants to escape, they can escape. They don't have to like wait and like deal with the anxiety of having like people hunting for them for 10, 12 minutes until like a door finally opens. It's possible to get Demigod in one run. I don't know about all that. 3-layer system still in equals DOA. Well, the problem with the 3-layer system was that people had to wait around for like the next level to open, and then by the time that you got to Inferno, it was just free farm, right? Like there was never any competition, there was nobody else there. Now with the way that the system is built, you're zoning into like the next zone, going into queue with other people that are waiting for the next like level to open, start, whatever, or one that's already like started like a couple of minutes prior, and then you spawn in with other people. Like you'll more or less the way it sounds like you're never going to be in an instance alone again, is how they had put it. So like even though it's a 3-layer system, it's going to be a populated 3-layer system, and there's not going to be any more like map rotation shit. So we'll see what happens. Hunting down noobs is the best part of the game. I try to help them. If I can, like, if you've played for a while, you can tell if somebody's brand new or not, you know? I try not to just murder those people outright. I try to, like, get them built up a little bit, you know? Get them to the point where they feel like they're confident enough to kind of stand on their own and then kill them. Right? Because then they know what they're doing. They can come back and, like, you know, feel like they'd be a challenge instead of just getting repeatedly massacred over and over again. And then they just go, well, this isn't fun. And they quit. Can we see your monk build? Yeah. Yeah. We all gonna meet a specific spot to duel? Well, in like Inferno and like hold on. In Inferno and oh, that's right, I'm back to level 4. We died. I died at level 33. In Inferno and in Ruins, like, obviously, the map is still static. But when you go into Crypts, it's not the case anymore. So, if you're trying to meet up to PvP and Crypts, there's not really, like, a place to meet up because you got the Fog of War and all that other shit they talked about. What the hell is the thing? There. Alright, we can run it back. Oh, PoE 2 is fantastic, man. It's so fun. Does Sork have an AoE spell? I mean, it looked like they were targeted, like that meteor spell that they had looked like it kind of had a bit of, like a small AoE burst. But I'm also guessing that they didn't show us all of the spells either, you know? Yeah, there was the firewall was AoE, obviously. It was just, you know, more of a line than like a circle. There was that. Well, they showed spells being cast, but they didn't show us like names or anything, you know? Like, but there was like a firewall's a firewall. It's kind of hard to call it what it, you know, something else. Problem with Sork on release is going to be that not only is there a silencing ability for many classes, but almost every class in the game will be soft or hard counter to Sorcerer in some capacity. I don't think people will want to play a class that just gets countered by everyone. But I'm going to play the fucking class, like, for, like, literal weeks. I will master the shit out of that class. I don't give a fuck if there's people that can silence or not. I'm playing it. And in that regard, I don't give a shit what other people do. They can play and not play it. They can be frustrated, not frustrated. They can say it sucks. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing it anyway. That's me. Everybody else can do what they want. Wind spells magic damage? Yeah, I mean, like, it depends on how fast that wind spell comes back, right? That's always going to be the hitch. Clear red veil twice will be level 8. Ooh. If we live through all the poison spam.
Feel the shock.
When they had a bronze pocket watch the Dark and Darker. Dude, I know, right? It'll be so much easier to get Shooterborn if they add the bronze pocket watch. Some MR, Barricade, and even Spell Reflect. Weapon Mastery, because why not? Yeah, and that palm strike doesn't hit very hard at all, does it? What was my response to what? Oh, what I said was I don't give a fuck about what classes other people are playing. I'm playing Sorcerer. I don't care if other people get frustrated or not. I'm playing it regardless. I'm gonna log in, I'm gonna play that shit for weeks. And what other people do and don't do is not my problem. I'm playing that fucking class. And no amount of like rando druid or fucking rogue silencing me is gonna keep me from my jam, dude. I'm playing that shit. I don't give a fuck. You died? Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna watch the VOD on YouTube. Just rewind the live broadcast. What if you end up getting killed consistently as a sorcerer because everyone has a way to just counter you? Well, then I would write a bug report. And I would make mention of the fact that it seems like there was a little bit of a balance problem in hopes that the devs would do something to adjust that. It's not going to make me just stop playing the class out of frustration, though. Because if I stop playing the class, then I don't have anything to report feedback on, and the entire point of beta testing is to give feedback.
eyes still hold some power.
Joey, don't joke like that, man. That's not funny. Problem about balancing sorcerers is a lot. I mean, a lot of shit that would need to be changed for sorcerer to be viable. I mean, Vol, you're talking about potentialities that we don't even know actually are a thing as of now, right? If that were the case, then every wizard would be frustrated and every warlock would be frustrated because they're the same types of caster classes. Meanwhile, you have entire forums full of people that are bitching about how one or two or all of those classes are all overpowered. Yo, hell yeah, Soki. Good luck. Good luck, dude. Dude, what is going on today? Is today like fucking Edgelord Friday or some shit? I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with people today, man. The fuck, dude? Is like Uranus in fucking retrograde or some shit? You can't, like, did your parents just not beat you enough? Like, I don't understand what's going on. People gotta chill the fuck out. Stingray, that shit's not funny, dude. I don't know how else I can put this. If you expect to remain a member of the community, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know if you value it or what or whatever. Like, don't joke about that shit, man. People get fucking killed over that stuff. It's not funny. Someone had to move his dad. Had to move his dad because people were swatting his father. Like, that shit is fucked up. It ain't funny. And it's like jokes like that is the reason why I have to have meetings with people that run the department near my house so that they understand like what I do for a living. Because guys smaller than me have that shit happen. Yeah, YouTube chat. Being fucking shitters.
I must maintain a fine balance.
Oh, get rid of this. Get rid of this. And take you. Give me this. Playing this game in HD first time, that's some balls. Oh, this game? This game's fun, man. Yeah, I've died a considerable number of times. Alright, 1 all melee skills. Put that on. I think that was the whole kit, right? That was the whole, like, starter kit bullshit that I had. Yeah, we got the double physical ring. Is there anything else? Put on a frost charm. Let's see. Mana recovery. Max life. Life regen. Charm charges. Actually, that ain't bad. I think we'll run that instead. Oh, the old bell, dude. Now we got that bell. I need stun build up on Q staff strike. Falling thunder. I don't have another support gem. Alright, that's fine. We'll just make all these level 3 right click. Done. Alright, let's go kill shit. Is there like a quick way to reset, like a zone? I mean, I don't fucking know what I'm doing, so. Stingray, we'll see you later, bro. You know what the best part about YouTube is? Bans aren't bans. It's the best part. He can still watch the stream as much as he wants. He can actually type in the comments section as much as he wants. The problem is that every comment that he makes from here on out, no one ever gets to see ever again. He can talk all the shit in the world, but he's just going to be screaming into the void. Control right click. Alright. Just control left mouse. So if I just do that. Oh, sick. New instance. Fuck yeah. Yo, I dig that. Thanks, chat. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Oh shit, I should go get another level 3 room, because I think Vault is level 3 too, right? Do you have a daughter? No, Joey, but what I can do is I can bang your mom, and I can give her a child that she'll be proud of. Would you like me to do that for you? Little Joey. See you at breakfast, sport. Little bro. The only thing little about me. Well, we'll just leave it there. That doesn't work. Shut up, Jack. Yeah, Saint, do me a solid and just take out the trash, will you? Thanks, buddy.
The old ways still hold some power.
Getting feedback today is rough. Wait, what happened? Does Monk not feel really clunky to you? I tried Mercenary and it felt better. I don't know, maybe just me. No, I actually really love Monk, man. The movement on Monk is fantastic. It's just, they don't really start coming online until, like, I don't know, level, like, 16 or so. Whenever you get, I can't remember what level it is that you get, like, the Tempest Strike. But it does not feel clunky to me, though. You can, like, you use the movement to your advantage, you know? Can you revive allies and party HC? No. Nope. If they go down, they stay down. They're dead. Lightning. Shock chance. Okay, let me, I think, do I get, I'm like cutting myself off like 7 times, trying to think of whatever I'm trying to think of. Yeah, that's what we want right there. Perfect. Now we can actually like make some like random AoE damage happen. Just gonna bounce around and murder shit. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. Perfect. Here, hold that. Yeah, he's tough, man. He's difficult. Yeah, the wipe looks like it's gonna be really fun, man. Turns out I can give people mod. Oh yeah, because you have like head boy access. You're basically me. You just can't delete the channel. That's the only. I think that's the only thing you can't do is delete the channel. I think everything else you have control over. Well, and then send money to yourself. you don't need to take my money from me, Saint. And everything else, I think you run. Yeah, Rev's got mod over there now. Good. Oh, now I gotta find, Grim Tangle. Oh, we can kill this dude. Well, let me, get a couple of charges so we can start this fight off right. He was tough. It's a tough fight. He was pretty rough out there. If Saint could pay himself, the basement would be lush. My goal actually is to get Saint full time by the end of next quarter. That would be ideal. There we go.
Here. This you have.
Got to move this along.
He's in. The grim tangle.
Take a look. Stick to the cairns.
That would draw unwanted.
What have we got? Deal.
Oh, actually, I don't want to sell that. That was the starter staff. Need to hold on to that because we know we're going to die again, right? So that's the run it back stick. What was the next one? Where's the one that's like 2 all? This one right here. Level 11. That's when we grab when we're level 11. Still need a necklace.
Sorry,
I haven't found a single, like, good necklace the entire time that we've been playing. Nothing where I'm like, oh shit. Like, I haven't found nothing.
Goodbye.
Do you keep your stash still in HC? Yes. You have a hardcore stash, and then there is a there's like a standard stash. Yo, Ginger Pal, thanks for the raid, bro. Thank you very much, man. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Best stuff I found was some vendors. Yeah, same. There's just like hardly ever any vendors on like the magic vendor, you know? Or hardly any necklaces on the magic vendor, I mean. Oh, there's a blank. But it's mana regen rate. Where the hell? It's not going to be down there, right? It's going to be up in here, maybe. I feel like that's going to be too close to the starting, like, area. Waypoint's up there, though. Maybe it is down here. Oh, here we go. Found it. How's hardcore going? Good, good. I died at level 33, but we're just running it back.
I won't be getting through here.
Do you have a lower bitrate for the YouTube stream? Nope. It's saying 8K. 8K 1080p. Why is it coming through weird?
The Drioct are real? How strange.
Can you rotate your camera in the game? No. It's a fixed viewpoint. He means like be able to like turn the camera like around, like shift it like angle wise. YouTube stream seems, yeah, it's like more pixelated. Yeah, it's weird. I'll look into the video codec for the next one, I guess. I'm just using like the multi like RTMP plugin, and I'm just copying whatever it's doing from OBS. But I can try to like make something a little bit more dedicated for next time. Where's the druid? There he is.
Misery and Ogham never ends. Be gone, foul creature.
Ding. All right. Nope, that doesn't help me. I'm able to watch the podcast anywhere I missed it. You can watch the live feed if you go to my YouTube channel on the live feed right now. Like if you rewind it, it's on there. But they didn't save the VOD. Doesn't look like. Diablo 5 looks crazy. Yeah, dude, this game is what Diablo wishes it was. It's so fucking good. You're welcome, Sarah. Anytime, man. Do you craft gear for low levels or just whatever you find and buy? Both. So what I've been doing is like, you amass like a halfway decent kit of gear that I'm pretty confident I can get through, like, you know, certain amounts of content with, and then try to find an upgrade. Like when I get into like the beginning of A2. Like right now I have I'm using a level 6 staff, but I have a level 11 staff that's like ridiculous that I will use until I get into Act 2 in hopes that I find like a Tempest staff that I can use like after the level 11 one is getting kind of weak. Because right now I have a pair of gloves that give 1 all to melee skills, and then when I get to 11, I will have a staff that gives +2 to all melee skills. Plus like a shit ton of electric damage, or lightning damage, whatever. So but it's both.
This place harbors an everlasting malice.
Oh shit. No. Oh my god, dude, I thought I was fucking dead. I didn't put my frozen charm on. Playing stupid. Yeah, it was close. Just trying to find the boss room. Well, we found the treasure instead, I guess. Oh shit. Notify the stream starting. I had to open it. Would be showing on our channel. Can't find a VOD. If you go to my YouTube channel and just rewind the live feed that's on there right now, the entire podcast is up on there. I'll do a summary once I'm done streaming for the day though. There she is. Oh, it's actually Draven, right? This is Draven. How many hits do you think it's going to take? Under 10? See, hold on, we'll see. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm not hitting the bell. I guess it was 20.
Let the Ezamites buried here finally know peace.
Dark and Darker died. Rip. Devs killed it. Bro, that was like one of the better previews for a patch I've ever seen. Well, I don't know if that killed shit. That looked fucking awesome to me. But to each their own. Like, by all means, I'm not trying to say your opinion's wrong, but I thought that should look great. Oh, I have 9 strength. I need 10.
What would you like?
$96/5.
That'll be useful.
1.4.
Stick to the cairns.
Sorry, I was...
Eight strength. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, I have ghost dance. I don't have any spirit though. Oh, that was a spirit gem? Skill gem. We're not there yet. Alright. Alex, if the VOD that you are looking at right now, if you rewind the VOD, the Devcast is at the start of it. I started it when the Devcast began. So if you go back to the beginning of this VOD, it'll be there. You're welcome, brother. Gave you a key and it said LOL no access? Really? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know, maybe like a customer support ticket or something? I got no idea there, man. Temporary bug.
Crush.
Here we go.
Somewhere in the darkness, a soul is dreaming of hate.
Try brute force just for the F of it. Rip. Clang, clang, clang. What is this boss room? There we go. Oh man, I got a level 3 lightning right off the rip.
You will never leave this place. How dare you disturb me? My love, I call to you.
Well, she didn't last very long.
Forbidden thaumaturgy causes nothing but pain.
Easy peasy, man.
Assault!
I'll take that. Life drain. There. Boosted.
You have the keys. At last, it's open. Praise the first ones.
He's so happy.
Great.
He's so happy, and now he's so sad.
Torquil, Callum, the family of Count Lachlan of Ogham. My family.
Overabundance on the bell is hilarious.
They're dead. Those bastard Eternals. I must make them pay. I must make them suffer.
He's very pissed. I'm feeling frosty. Well, this would have been over if he didn't freeze me.
Rejoin your family.
I got caught by the frosty ground.
Soul.
Night night.
You.
That's actually not a bad chest piece to like level up into. Maybe we'll rock that. 1 to 3 physical, 2 to 3 cold, 5 life per enemy killed. I think I'm gonna put that in the low level gear section. Next to one of the shitty bows. You got 1 level all on that one and 1 level all on this one. At some point we'll try a ranger maybe. Oh yeah, this guy.
This. So.
We gotta go hunting grounds, right? Level 9.
Finally, familiar terrain. I must be getting close to the village.
Creature.
I need these guys to stop training me so that I can actually like level. Jesus. All right. I'm wondering if I just like bum rush the shock stuff for now. Just like keep stacking up the damage. Kill shit fast. Or if we oh actually this right here. Critical hit chance, and then we'll grab that. These guys are dropping uncut support gems? Let's go, man. Why is it like you end up having these runs where like you're in a complete drought for support gem drops, and then you have runs like this where they're like all over the place? Level 77, died at position 19. Rip. Overabundance is stupid on that. Tier 4. Probably Vault, just because it's all the initiate damage. Level 10, one more level and we got the 2 all. Then we get the super stick. Why is that thing dinging every time I take a potion shot? It's kind of silly. Alright, that's kind of nasty. Like, all of my damage gets buffed by 35% of lightning damage if I kill something with Falling Thunder. If it died while it was shocked. That's kind of huge. I should have been running this before. Fucking Fraythorn, dude. Yo, Hunter, what up, man? If you, Hunter, if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the live feed that's going on right now, well, you have to just rewind it to the beginning is right when it starts. Good to see you, man. Hope things are good. I hate this map. This is the only map that I have been on until I was like all the way to the end of Act 2 that made me nervous. Like, this is the only Act 1 map that makes me nervous. Hi, Sweet Pea. You're home early. What is what? That is a rowing machine. What are you doing? You need to show me something. You got what?
Mommy got weed.
You got really good treats?
No, Mom.
Mom did?
Want a chocolate? You want a chocolate?
No, thank you. I do like chocolate cookies, but I don't. You gonna take Mama Cat out with you, please? Can you close the door too, honey? She's too funny, man. Okay. Thank you, baby. Watch your toes. Okay. The last time she went to close the door, she closed her, like, little toe in it, and it hurt real bad. Is that 11? I think that's 11. That is 11. Alright, now we get the big stick. Oh, I need 22 decks, though.
My dexterity is lacking.
My dexterity. We need dex. Let's see. Oh. I'm just gonna refund this passive. And we're gonna go here. It gives me 23.
This isn't the place all the time.
There it is. Now we got the big dick staff. Look at that fucking thing. Oh my god. So hot. It's beautiful. Wear that bad bitch too. Well, that's +9. Actually, I don't even need that node.
Time to
I can get rid of that node and go back to this one.
Have we the spirit held a little see? Will you pay? Go make a legend or two.
It's in my... Stay safe. Stay safe if you can.
Overcompensating? Always. Listen, gamers got tiny wieners. It's okay. It's not a big deal. We don't talk about it. It's fine. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, though. Alright, now we gotta get Herald of Thunder, and we'll be in business. Relief hearing that? Dude, it's just gamers got small schweens, man. It happens. It's all good.
Ravage. Go nine.
How are you still alive? God damn. We had to end him quick. Fucking mana drain aura. Support Jalm. Tempest Spell. I had that thing on a cooldown thing with a larger AoE, but I don't know if that's going to really be the move. %30 chance to inflict bleeding. Does the bleeds don't stack though, right? Physical damage from hits contributes to bleeding magnitude. Only damage dealt to life will contribute to bleeding. 15% of physical damage with a hit that's inflicted is calculated using final damage with a hit. Not further affected by any modifiers to the damage you deal. Shot can make it bigger. All right. 25% of damage is extra cold. I like Expanse. I like Expanse a lot. Nah, you can't put two in the same weapon. You can't have any repeats, unfortunately. Part of me wants to do Expanse and then Concentrated Effect, because it would do 40% more area damage. 50% less area of effect, but then if they put an Expanse, it'll be 50% more area of effect, so it wouldn't matter. It would be like the same size. How's the gem? You got 1 to 40 instead of 1 to 20. Is there quality improvements or something I missed? What do you mean? Oh, you mean the staff is 2 to 40 additional electric damage, you mean? Or lightning damage? There's 2 runes in it. There's 2 sockets, and then each socket has a lightning rune in it. So each one is 1 to 20, so it's 2 to 40. Yeah, you can put the 2 storm runes in. Yeah, I thought you were asking about like the support skills. My fault. And I misunderstood. Where to watch it without streamer talking over it. If by streamer you mean me, Cameron, there isn't one. They deleted the VOD. Sorry. I think I'm just gonna grab Expanse. Fuck it. It's like, bro, I'm right here. Oof.
Was that the benevolent dream? Couldn't be.
Why don't they have the VOD up? I don't know. I'm not them. Was hype? It was pretty hype, man. It was pretty good. Oh, God, I hate these fucking... This place sucks. It sucks so bad. Hey, we found a wicker tiara. What's that gonna be made of? What we got in this bitch? We found a wicker tiara. Critical hit chance. Yo, X much, thank you for the gifted sub, man. And thank you for the tier 1, dude. Enjoy your Chimera pet, dude. Thank you very, very, very much. Wow, that thing looks dope. It's like a beetle's face. What is it? What is it? What is it?
Reveal your worth.
Every 3 seconds, consume a nearby corpse to recover 20% of your life. 93% increased energy shield, 11 to intelligence, 18% chaos resist. Well, that thing's kind of neat. Every 3 seconds, consume a nearby corpse to recover 20% of life. It's kind of snazzy. It looks wild. Let's see what does it look like? Yeah, it's like... That thing looks crazy. Yeah, you can hear it. It's going poing. That noise that it's making is like it's eating the corpses. That is wild. Mmm, delicious corpses. What you laughing at, man? Sounds very happy.
These men are not
Mara, let's do this.
Assault! I need mana.
Well. Got him.
Please. So, thank you.
Well, that was anticlimactic. All right. Movement speed, evasion rating, maximum life regen per second. Well, those actually have it in there socketed. Those are actually a fucking upgrade. Those aren't bad at all. Who would have thought? Herald of Thunder, don't mind if I do. Turn you on. We getting jerked in here? Absolutely. I guess we'll put the, maybe we should run it for a little bit. 54 energy shield? That doubles my energy shield. I mean, like, I don't think I need the int. It doesn't disable any of my shit, right? Nope. I got 5 slots for int support gems. Maybe we just run it. Just for the meme of it. It doesn't give me shit for stats, but it's kind of funny. Oh, and I'll put the boots in here for the next run through.
Hello.
Up since 4 a.m. working till 9 p.m. You get dumb, Tep? Nah, man. You're good. No worries. Meanwhile, I'm just slurping up corpses. Like you're just like I'm running around. It's just like shoom. They're just disappearing. All right, so we gotta kill the Crowbell or whatever, right? Oh, I really need a new mana vial. My mana potion is like super slow, like super small. Full speed sword casting is crazy. Oh, with like cast speed? I haven't tried it. Is it cool? Sorks move full speed while casting spells. Like if you're holding down the cast button, they don't move as fast. If you click between, like they'll cast it and then you can kind of like move. You are slowed, but most of the cast times are like 0.6 seconds or something. It's not that bad. Oh, you mean you're talking about the Devcast? I thought you were talking about Sork in this game because there's a Sork in this game. You're talking about Dark and Darker Sork, not Path of Exile Sork. I was like, oh, I played a Sork this morning. The fuck is the crow bell, dude? Yeah, Zero, I figured. The other guys got it too. Yeah, I played Ice Monk like at the start. They're really, really good for like single target damage if you can keep the ice spike at a distance. I haven't tried it like post level 20 or so though, because I was dying with it at the end of well, at the beginning of Act 2, not end of Act 1. Devcast was good, man. It was good. I'll make a summary video once I'm done for the day. This build looks really fun. Yeah, this one's kind of silly. Is there a VOD? Yeah, on YouTube, if you go to the live feed right now and just rewind it to the beginning, it's the start of the podcast. Fair warning, though, I was talking over them a little bit. I did take notes, though. This is probably Fraythorn again. It is. Fuck. Oh, that's probably the druid. There's Crowbell. Let's go, man. Get my 2 points. Patch have reduction? Yeah, maybe. It depends on how lethal the class is, right? They might need the move speed because of like how limited they are with their spell counts. So it's all going to depend. Oh, I stunned him right when he was phase transitioning. That's kind of ridiculous. I've never gotten him this low on the run before. This is ridiculous. Holy shit. All right. Well, 3 points. Where are we gonna go? Probably those. Skill, speed, mana regen. He sounded, yeah, he was not happy. He was like, God damn it. Like anybody else that gets stun locked, right? Oh, that's what this checkpoint is, the ritual circle. We gotta find the druid ritual. Oh, it's right here. There, we got it. Good. One uncut support Jalm. I'm gonna try concentrated effect just to see what the damage is like. Even though it's less area damage. So where the fuck is the farm? It's either here or up here. I have killed the wolf before he has gone into any other phase. Like, just because like I timed it well and I had the bell up and he didn't try to do like any weird AoE shenanigans. Just dropped the bell on him and DPS'd him down and he died before he ever phase transferred. With this staff, actually. It was kind of gross.
You're mine.
10 phases. I mean, I've done, like, playing Sork, that's what happens with me. I've had that happen. In the last run through, using this staff, the last run through, I had that happen. Because he made it weird and he kept doing, like, the beam attacks. So I couldn't get him locked down. I still haven't found a new mana flask. Oh, got the Q staff with 2 sockets. Oh, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. They just all fall over dead from the shockwave. I love it. We have to find the loot. Gotta find that. That's 2 skill points too. Uh-oh. Pardon me. Oh, I guess never mind. Meanwhile, I'm just running around slurping up corpses. I freaking love this. This is so funny. Like, I kill something, you just see, wow.
The mighty fall.
All right. That was easy. YouTube description is wild. D&D watch party while playing ARPG. Well, it's because when the stream started, it was a Dark and Darker Devcast watch party, and then it switched to Path of Exile 2 because they got done talking, and it's been 3.5 hours since I hit play on the recording. I'm sorry that you feel confused, Ish. I hope you have a less confusing day. Hypothetical question. You die, you get... Like you one of 3 universes. Path of Exile, Warhammer, Elden Ring. Fuck. Dude, I don't even know. I don't know which one of those is shittier. They're all kind of shitty. God damn it, she's procking. He keeps procking invulnerability. Turn it off. Thank you. It's all shit sandwich, yeah. Yeah, I think, fuck, man. Probably Elden Ring, because, like, at least then the dude's got a chance of, like, ascending to godhood. Warhammer, you're just, like, giga-fucked. And... Path of Exile, kind of the same, I guess. I don't know if I should go for shock. Like right off the rip. Oh, I should probably go around to here. Get some defensives. Was this the hut up here, maybe? Yeah, Devcast was a while ago, brother.
Perhaps this will assuage the girl's despair.
Oh, and then we gotta go over here, right?
What is this madness? I fear I am too late.
You just hear this thing. It's like just eating corpses. 20% life on consuming a corpse is pretty wild. Not gonna lie. It's too funny. I'm like just vaulting all over the place, like blasting the ground and like killing everything. Ridiculous. Well, time to go fight the executioner. See if we can drop him fast or not.
Stop. Just wait. Surely we can.
In before Jack yells at me.
Justice now finds you. Ogham deserves one last execution.
Damn, that was a tough fight. This is a tough fight. Hard fought win right there. Alright, she gives me the tier 5 gem. So now I can get Tempest.
Madness echoes here.
Right? Right. God, that would have been awesome if it was +1 all. Alright, we can hand in the loot. Get the gem.
Enter the manor. It's all gone.
You found. I think I should.
Music aids the order.
Thunderous demise.
What the hell else did I put in here? Like 35% electric damage or something? I don't remember what I put in. I know I sped it up. I remember what I ran in at. Conduction? Oh no, crescendo. Crescendo for the double second hit or third hit. Okay, 1, 2.
This hooded one. Take a look. Deal.
132 mana. Rare item with a new random modifier.
If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
What do I have on the bench? Or in the stash for orbs? Let's see. Nope. Shit. Magic to rare. Ain't ready for that shit yet. Do.
It is good to see you.
Is the TLDR up yet? Nope. I've been doing this. Sorry, brother. I'll get it up later on tonight. I got all the notes and stuff. We should be good to go. Okay. Off to the manor we go. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so pretty. Level 14 and doing work. I need to roll a Tempest staff that actually has, like, stats. That would be amazing. If we could roll a Tempest staff that has, like, +2, it's over. It's fucking Jover. Yo, base effect. Thank you for the prime, bro. Oh, no, so I guess it's bass effect in this case. I thought it was bass, like bass guitar, but it's bass, like fish. Thus the Mass Effect reference. Tee-hee, I get it. It's the 13. Hi. What's up? What you doing? Like you got a Christmas dress on. What is going on? It's very cute. Yeah. Wait. Does it have antlers? That's adorable. It's got an antler hood on it. Are you a reindeer? Oh, and it's got a little dude. And they even cut like a little hole in the back of the hood for her hair to stick out, so it's not like all bunched up in her hood. That's awesome. No, we're not touching that.
No.
I just said no. All right. Is it time to go? Is that what you're telling me? No. No touching. No touching. No touching. Is it time to go? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Chat. We're going to scoot. No. Hey, stop. None of that. Chat, we're going to scoot. She's trying to play with buttons. I will see you guys later, okay? I'll get the summary video up very soon. Okay? Later. Hold on.